Boss Page, Jason, what's going on? Glad you all could both make the stream. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I do that. Why does it seem? Here we go. That's how we expand it out a little bit. And let me check my camera. Camera looks good. Light is on. Got light going on. Excellent, excellent. And switch to playing games. And blank. No, not blank. There we go. And game paused. Let's go into the game. I see mic audio's going. I see desktop audio's going. We should be in good shape. How are you all doing? How's your day been? And did you get some good rest? I did get some good rest. I'm feeling very, very good. Got no complaints whatsoever. Unfortunately, even though Simone seems to be just about recovered, Samantha is, whew, she's going through it. She's going through it. So she's in bed right now. But other than that, I am doing quite well. How are you all? The soldiers watch you rarely as you approach. Once you're within speaking distance, one of them gestures with his pistol. That's far enough. What are you doing here? You lost? I'm here to speak with the commander. The commander's not receiving any more visitors. He looks you over, frowning. Did Stalwart send you? Yes. Here for your delegates. The commander has them in a cell. We'll have the truth out of them one way or the other. As for you, Edark wants nothing more to do with messengers or diplomats. You're too late. But why are you here? Edark has said there will be a great battle. We're here to hold the pass and defend Red Ceres. He has seen this in a dream. He had a vision? Just what he has seen is his own concern. Edark leads us well. We don't question his orders. You've asked more than enough questions. Go on, get out of here. I won't warn you again.
The Red Serens have always been as cold as these mountains. They must feel right at home.
Huh. Okay. So he let me go and said don't go this way. So, is there another way to get into the fort? Is that what they're trying to tell me? First of all, what happens if I click here? Okay. Yeah, nothing. The Abbey's Valley still doesn't come up. And hey, this calls me to fight a soldier. Hey! Come on, let's get you back on the ground. Back on the ground. Just ate a whole medium croissant, 3-meat pizza to myself. Wow. That does sound like a good time I must have been. Why was the rest of them attacking? What in the hell? Princess, what's going on? How are you?
To whispers and shadows.
All right.
Certainly.
That doesn't sound human. That panting. What was that sound? Whatever he was trying to do, I did not appreciate it at all. And you know what? Might as well. Do. Durant, what are you doing? What's the problem? Come on now. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. Excellent. To whispers and shadows. Good day, y'all. I promise I'll try not to distract you too much this stream, Slandered. It's all good. You don't distract me. Good to see you, DeMoss. Hey. Ooh, bear. Ooh. One of them things. So let her deal with that. And then you deal with this. Yep, that's what I want. Why is Palagina and Allah, frankly, why are they not? What is your problem? Aggressive. Oh, defend self. Aggressive. Defend self. Aggressive. How did they end up on defend self? I feel very confident that I never gave them that. What in the hell? Aggressive. Hold ground. Aggressive. He's the only one. Non-auto. He could use auto attack, but I don't want to use any abilities. Okay. There, now they're doing what they're supposed to do. No, 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 no. Don't let her get her feet back up. There we go. I slept for 13 hours. Wow. That'll definitely do it. So you should be feeling nice and refreshed. Ooh. During Cogwheel. 50 of them bad boys. And what else? The devastation to the surrounding forest stretches near the horizon. All right. Thanks for your Wrath of the Righteous videos. Very helpful. My pleasure, John. Glad you've been enjoying them. Glad you found them valuable. Yeah, I was actually just reading a comment where it's to my video today, which is about the Solasta DLC. And they are like, hey, I enjoyed this, but I hope you're going to get back to the class ranking video series soon. And I'll let them know. We'll be back to that Wednesday, actually. So tomorrow I'm going to do my class update for us hitting 10K, which I'm very, very happy about, very, very excited about. And but then after that Wednesday, we'll go ahead and get back to class rankings with, I think the next one up is Druid. Druid is next, and I actually already have Fighter taken care of. So Fighter, I think, is the next video up after that as well. I was dreaming of doing a D&D session. I played as a Hive Warlock in the session. That's awesome. Well, if Hive is anything like a Time Lord, I had a great time with a Time Lord, but it'd be interesting to see how Hive interacts with it.
What?
If I end up doing a Solasta playthrough again, I'll definitely going to do Warlock, because I'm fascinated by what that class might be like when you hit level 20. Are you super tired or just out of nowhere? Yeah, that's a good question. These logs seem recently cut, and from their size, they once numbered amongst the older trees surrounding the pass. Just ahead of you, the gates to the fort remain shut fast. You spy archers moving along the tops of the watchtowers, scanning the surroundings, and the chill breeze carries the scent of burning pitch. Leave it for now. Okay.
Laying low.
Whatever I wanted to do, I can't do it right now for it. I was super tired. Only had 3.5 hours a day before. Ooh, yeah. Yep, that'll make your body say, all right, we're shutting it down. So yeah, the Fighter one's done. Hunter is done. So those two will be up. And then what's after that? I think it's supposed to be, is it Inquisitor that's after that? But I might try to fit in a review of Pillars of Eternity, because hopefully between the next couple of days, we'll go ahead and get this done so that I'll be in a position where I can actually go ahead and fully review it. Ooh.
Almost glad. Come on. Commander will figure it out.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I do not like that. They're just running up on me like that? No. Oh. Why? Interesting. There we go. You're dead. You're interrupted. Get him down. Get him down. There we go. You get him down. He's dominated for a while. That'll work. No, get him down now. Yep, yep, yep. There we go. Now it doesn't really matter. There we go. Druid is my favorite class, and I wish it was better in Wrath. Yeah, I don't remember what my exact ranking was for it, but Druid is just all right to me. It's cool. It's got some interesting things, but it's definitely not as good as some of the other classes I've looked through. Druid, good to hear that. I had a friend who was doing that regularly out of nowhere, ended up needing to see a doctor about it. Ooh, yeah, that would be rough. I hope the new Shifter class is better than the tabletop version. I keep hearing that. I keep hearing that the tabletop version of Shifter is absolutely horrid, and people are concerned about whether or not it's going to be the same way in Wrath of the Righteous. I've got to assume that Owlcat is aware of these concerns, and they're going to make sure that the class is compelling. If it ends up being similar to something like Imitator, that's going to be so disheartening. You do that. Did you? Okay, there we go. Paralyzation work. Yeah, see, Edda's running down. Durance is running down. Pallegina is just staying put. That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. I don't understand. Thoroughly confused. And that. I'm going to take a wild guess that you're not really supposed to go through the front door to get to this, get through to this place. So that's what's making me go to all these other places, but maybe that's not the case. We'll see. Okay, that's another wall there. Ooh, tree post over there. Okay, cool. I don't need to look around this whole fort with these other jabronis that are back here. I hope I love the bone spells you get as you play as a Lich in Wrath of Righteous. Lich is such a good time. Such a good time. I'm still determined to do Angel. Oh, snap, I completely missed Awaken. Awaken, what's going on, man? Glad you're able to make the stream. I'm sorry, I completely missed your message. Iron Flail jump. I assume it's going to give us some sort of way to enter in. Let's see. Observing it from below, you notice that the watchtower at the side gate appears to be unmanned. You find no hostile faces peering over the fence either. The roof of the tower crosses over the fort walls. Climbing it may provide a means of getting inside. Continue. You can make out voices past the gate, engaged in scattered conversation. In the bright light of day, the camp bustles with activity. A discreet individual could try to open the gate before the alarm is sounded, but it will be risky in broad daylight. Examine the gate. The gate appears to be heavily reinforced. Through the few narrow gaps in the outer wall, you can see support set against the inside. Throw a grappling hook up onto the roof. The grappling hook strikes the wooden beam with a disquieting thud. No cries of alarm follow. A few tugs on the rope suggest the hook holds fast. Send someone over the wall. Who will go? Is this dexterity or athletics? We'll send Pallegina. Send Pallegina. Pallegina grips the rope and begins the climb, clambering up and into the watchtower. Soon, Pallegina is maneuvering down the other side of the wall inside the fort. From there, Pallegina has a glimpse of the bustling camp and of the guard posted some short distance away. As Pallegina drops to a crouch, the movement catches the guard's attention, and he turns in Pallegina's direction. Pallegina steps back towards the shadow of the watchtower, but it's too late. Pallegina rushes to unbar the gate as the guard shouts for reinforcements. Okay, so here's my question, though. Here, we're going to load that back up. Because I'm wondering, it did specifically mention it was daylight hours, right? So I'm wondering if that means if I had just rested and went until night, would I potentially have gotten a better option? Let's find out. Auto, Iron Flail. I just did a save. Why isn't my save showing? Iron Flail forward. Oh, here we go. Jump. Here we go. There it is. Forgot to take my last medication. Where is that? Sit. Clues. Okay. So, fast mode. And there was a card over here that I believe had an extra camping supply in it. You can take this off. There we go. Go ahead and camp. Wilder, is that correct? Wilder should be it. Yep. Rest. Still not. So here, rest again. There we go. Azuro has arrived, offering what? Medium armor. Looks crappy. That's all right. Yeah, no, I'm good on that. All right, one of these. Cool. All right, now let's run this again. We'll overwrite that original jump save and see if the darkness makes any difference. By the way, once we finally finish this, ironically, we're going to be jumping into another Obsidian game. I definitely want to play Pentiment. That game is getting crazy reviews. A lot of different sites are saying that it's absolutely amazing. So it actually releases 1 in the morning. I might go ahead and just jump into it before this thing ends, but we'll see. Palagina again. The man is snoring fast asleep. Palagina creeps forward to unbar the gate. But Palagina's footsteps are loud against the quiet of night, and after a scant few seconds, the guard jerks awake. Palagina. So is she the wrong person to... Oh, you know what? I'll send Grieving Mother. She's got stealth. Maybe this is a stealth issue. Woo. Load this back up. Ba ba ba. All right, we're doing this one more time. If it doesn't work with Grieving Mother, then that's it. Hey, it just is what it is. Stealth. It's a stealth issue. The man is snoring fast asleep. Grieving Mother creeps forward to unbar the gate. And we're good. All right. Now, sneak.
Certainly.
If I remember correctly, could be wrong, but I seem to remember there was some sort of mechanic in this section where you really wanted not to kill any of the soldiers that are in the fort. God dog it. Well, before I restart, might as well use this opportunity to find out where is this guy. Is this it? This is probably it. We're trying to get there. Okay, fine. I think I could just do a F8. Progress. Okay. We're in the fort. And we just got to figure out the correct route to ensure that we don't get caught. Because I'm pretty sure you're supposed to not kill anybody.
Certainly.
Come on. I'm not going to try to do this a crazy amount of times, but oh my God. So wolf. God dog it. It's so hard with 6 people. Do I need to go slower? Honestly, I hate stealth missions in party-based games like this where they don't really give you an effective way to stealth. Like, there's no potion or spell I can use that's just going to stealth everybody on my team. So...
Certainly. Laying low.
Why is my... Oh! Well, that's probably not helping. You belong here and you belong here. That's probably also part of the reason why she wasn't attacking as often as she should have, because she was all the way in the back. All right. All right, so that's progress. We're inside. Get back to your post. Yes, sir. What does he do? Then he goes back there. So does that mean... No, it doesn't. We can't go back through there. Okay. He's going to go over here. He's going up. What you going to do? Oh, snap. God dog it. How am I supposed to get past that? Yeah, Princess, I hate stuff like this. Like, come on now. How is this a good use of my time? The only reason I care about this at all is that I'm pretty sure if you spare him, he's in the second Pillars of Eternity. And I don't want to screw that up. I want him to be there. Oh, my God. And I screwed that up immediately. Yeah, that's the only reason I care about this. But I'm almost getting to the point that this dude is about to get his throat slit regardless. I think you have to spare his soldiers in order to be able to even get the opportunity to spare him. But a couple more times of this, and I might be like, you know what, whatever, dude. Whatever. Okay, he's going to come up here, but that dog is going to come up here. So no matter what, I have to move. So here's the question. Is this guy still hanging around down here? He is. Oh, my God. Oh, so the dog comes back around. So when the dog is circling around, what's he doing? Can I cut through here? Oh. Are you serious? Why did it take me out of stealth? Okay. That's what we have to do. You have to go back, wait for the dog to come around, then cut back through while the dog is making its round. Lennon, what's going on? How are you? Glad you're able to make the stream. It is 10:11 p.m. I'm in Central Time. Okay. So, whoops. He's going up here. Dog comes around here. I don't have any choice but to wait around here. Dog is going to come around. The question is, did the dog pick up grieving mother? So we need to be ready to move in case it does. Okay. There we go. Dog is coming around here. Are you serious? So there's like no way past then. If he's already coming down over here. Is there anything I'm missing? Because I got to come through that gate. You know, I don't see a way around it. So, all right. I swear there was, though. But you know what? Screw it. I've already spent enough. Oh, my God. That's a lot of people. Single enemy. Yeah, that only works on single enemy. Probably will have feast to help them. Oof. Hey, can't stand the ciphers when they're against me. Gary, what's going on? All the way from Singapore. Appreciate it, man. Glad you've been enjoying the content. Okay, y'all need to come back over here. You need to get him back up and running. You need to be doing anything other than freaking that. There we go. You. There we go. Is Eder over there? He is. Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, rifleman, do that. Oh, wow, Lennon, you live in Brazil? I didn't know that. That's awesome. Didn't even know I have fans in Brazil. There we go. Okay. Brutal, 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 brutal. Woo! That hammer was about to come crushing down on you, boy. That would have been ugly for you. I mean, it was ugly for you regardless, but that would have been even uglier. All right. We dealt with that. Wasn't the way I wanted to do it, but whatever. Oh, and a bunch of them are still asleep.
Certainly.
Ooh, no. Let's not face anybody we don't have to. All right. Over here, over here. Yep, that's excellent. That's excellent. Okay, and let's save real quick. And let's see if it's still possible to let him go. I don't think it is, unfortunately. It's not that awesome because I live in a crappy country. What do you dislike about Brazil? Or rather, about living in Brazil? Here we go. Please, listen.
Enough! I've had my fill of... What's this? Steady, men. Our guest has arrived.
The Iron Flail commander is a younger man, lean in build. His brown hair is unkempt, his eyes fevered. At his feet is a grate set over what appears to be a pit. You hear a smattering of anxious cries rising from the cell as the commander steps forward.
All that chaos outside. For an instant, I believed you, woman.
His boot comes down hard on the grate.
But he's only a common assassin.
Please calm yourself. I'm not here to fight.
But you did fight, all the same. My men were here to fight. We're all here to fight. You want to talk? Set down your...
Adaric's words die in his throat, his expression froze in mid-snarl. It isn't clear what's happened, not until you start to feel it too. Unbidden, your senses drift, as if you had reached out toward a source of essence. You feel an ache in your chest, an almost painful sensation of being pulled forward. A sudden wave of memories flood your mind, clear as the day they formed. You see Odima's campsite, ravaged by the Biawak, the halls of Cadnua. In the caverns beneath the keep, the stone around you bellows warnings in a dead language. Deeper still, a fanged maw parts like a wound in the world. The images wash over you, tracing lives and emotions from 100 different times and places. Not all are your own. Slowly, you become aware of the sensation of being watched. Reach out. You direct your senses, tracing the invasion to its source. Adaric, conviction burns through him, bright as a brazier. For an instant you share in his emotion, and a sourceless desperation rattles about your skull. Absent context, the fragments of memory you see are just images. A small house across a field of vibrant purple flowers, a sea of armored kith and flapping banners waiting on your command. There's an uncomfortable moment where you feel your twinned awareness turning in on itself, and then the connection is severed. Adaric looks startled, his face ashen. You're a watcher. Actually, no, we'll go with the class unique dialogue. Cipher, what did you just do to me? Adaric flinches, taking a step back.
I sense his fear, his shame.
That wasn't my doing. I've never met another. Why have you come? Why now?
You can see lost souls like I do.
Yes, I see them. Your butcher's work clings to you.
Adaric's voice is flat, his posture tense. Perception, you're ashamed. Why?
It's hardly something to be proud of. Look to your own sins, Watcher. I'll not share mine.
Intellect. I take it Watchers don't enjoy the best reputation in Red Saris.
Does everyone in the Deerwood boast of their afflictions?
I thought all the other Watchers were mad.
That wouldn't bode well for you, would it?
Adaric's tone is irritable, but he watches you with wary interest.
I've a firm grip on my senses, whatever you believe. The Watcher's curse is many things, but if it promised madness, I would not have taken command of the Iron Flail.
Thanks, Gary. I appreciate it. 20 SGD. I don't know what SGD stands for, but he says, thanks for the many hours of entertainment and information. You and yours have a great one. You too, Gary. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate the support. Glad you've been enjoying the content. Also, their policies are crap. Oh, if only Inez didn't die early. If he survived this year, this country would be set in the right direction. Inez was a recent politician, I assume, who died?
The memories I saw, some of them couldn't have belonged to you. You're awakened, aren't you?
Are you also awakened? Ah, Singapore dollars. Ah, okay, that's awesome. Also cool. So it tells me when it's been donated in different currency. This is my first time. That's actually pretty awesome. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Are you also awakened?
No, of course not.
Adaric studies you with grim satisfaction. Do you know of a cure? Adaric stares at you, eventually gives a slight shake of the head.
It seems a terrible thing to be awakened and a Watcher both. I'm sorry.
Enough about that.
Yes, we were in the middle of something, I believe.
No, we just talked about that. I came to find out what happened to the delegates.
The delegates? You tore through my camp, killed my men for them?
I would have done things another way if I could have.
You could have turned around. If not for the delegates, all of this could have been avoided. Stalwart sent delegates to discuss terms of peace. I offered them the opportunity. I was generous.
Adaric paces a few steps before he gets hold of himself.
But Stalwart sent soothsayers, not diplomats, to frighten us with stories of the moon going dark, the earth shaking.
A shrill voice suddenly rises up from the pit. Adaric stomps down angrily on the bars, drowning her out. Old politician actually since the 80s, but he still died early. Interesting. So do you feel like Brazil was a much better place when he was around then? In what way do you feel like it's worsened since his death? How much farther did you get? I don't know. How much of the last stream did you see? Basically, in the last stream, we did the monk's side quest. And I think actually the monk's side quest took out the majority of the time. Because we talked to Maneha and got her side quest. But apparently you have to do more of the main story before it unlocks the location where her side quest is. So right now I'm at the Iron Flail, which is continuing the main quest for White March Part 2. So I'm going to do that until I'm able to do Maneha's side quest and finish that up. And then we still have some bounties we have to do. I think there's 3 overall bounties and then that dragon fight. So I'm hoping to at least get all of that wrapped up. If nothing else, when we end today's session, I want to be down in that well where the true end game happens. And then in the next session, we can finish this game off completely and head straight into Pentiment. Kit, what's going on? How are you? Glad you ain't make the stream. 3rd stream tonight. Is that right? It's been a busy day for you. But there have been tremors. There were cave-ins at the mines.
Don't play the fool with me. These omens are meant to frighten me, to make me doubt my purpose here. But there is more at stake here than a village in the mountains.
Threed, what's going on, man? Glad you were able to make the stream.
They dismiss my faith, call us superstitious. But what does Stalwart believe in? Iron and gold, and nothing else. I have tilled barren fields with my bare hands. What is gold to me?
He looks down at the grate of the cell, eyes flashing with sudden anger. What do you want with Stalwart anyway?
With a village of fishermen, nothing. But they cling fiercely to the forge you gave them. Some of the men are here for gold and good steel, and I promised them their share. But I came for cannons. With the battery's cannons, we can hold the pass. Rayed Saris has suffered enough. Its sons and daughters have nothing.
He looks at Eder, jaw working.
We won't survive an attack from the Deerwood when it comes. Not unless we act. There is an army coming. I've seen it. Pouring down from the mountain. It will crush Stalwart and come for Rayed Saris.
Aderic's gaze is distant.
The iron flail will be the wall that safeguards my homeland from the worst these fire worshippers can bring to bear.
Intellect. Between the Duke's assassination and the Hollowborn crisis, Deerwood's a little preoccupied.
So I believed. Hoped, maybe. But that only means they're angry. They'll look for someone to blame, an enemy to fight.
Wait, you had a vision of an army?
I warn you, if you think to taunt me, Watcher.
I had a vision too. In mine, I saw Cad Noor reduced to rubble by an army that shook the earth. Doubt creases Aderic's brow. His men exchange looks, waiting tensely for orders.
Why would they turn on their own? No. You're trying to trick me. This is all another distraction.
Oh, shit. I am so sorry. Oh, it is. That is clearly supposed to be 3D. That's a great point, Kit. It is, but I kind of like 3D better. All right, then I'll stick with 3D. But yeah, Kit, you make a great point. Damn. I never put that together. Automatically, when I looked at it, it said, oh, that's 3D. Wow. Wow. Just finished up watching God of War Ragnarok. Pretty epic, I'd say. Nice. Watching? You mean playing? Or were you watching a stream of it? Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to going through that game. Finally got an alchemist insta-kill off in Ayatollah. Only took me 5 months. It is nasty. Organ failure and then the unfortunate turns into goop. That's awesome. I actually love alchemist-type characters. This is one of the reasons I like the class so much of Wrath of the Righteous. It's going to be 48 degrees tomorrow. I love it, and it's not snowing. Oh, so you prefer the cold, Jason? Intellect. All that destruction we saw. You really think a bunch of backwater fools can do that?
Hey, you can call them backwater fools all you want. But don't let them hear you badmouth their destruction.
Adarac looks at Eder, frowning. I remember thunder and 100 eyes gazing back at me. Any of that sound familiar?
The thunder followed me to the temple at Dawn's Reach, and the earth split beneath our feet.
You read my soul. What did that tell you?
That you're soft-hearted, but it hasn't seemed to stop you. And that you have seen and done a great many things. Things I would not have otherwise believed.
We both know something's coming. Maybe 2 watchers can figure out how to stop it. For several moments, there is nothing but silence in the cabin. Then, you hear the scrape of metal as Adaric takes up his sword, only to lay it flat across his palms.
I led my people here because I believed we were on the right path. I bound my soul to this blade as proof of my surety.
There's a ripple of soul energy in the air, there and gone. Adaric looks pained.
The sword's no good to me now. It's yours, for as long as you can wield it. I'll call in our forces from the mountains. Please, give me time to explain. You should speak with Stalwart's messengers. Perhaps you'll get some answers out of them.
Lovely. Okay, so there is a way, even if you kill them. Severed the soul. Free the prisoners. What's sever the soul? Oh, it's a power. It does a full attack. Interesting. That looks like something I'll never use. I follow 4 people all playing God of War Ragnarok right now. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, all the reviews I've seen about that game seem to pretty much confirm that it's absolutely epic and really lives up to the last one. So definitely glad to hear about that. No such thing as too many great video games, so I'll get to it whenever it comes out on PC. I don't have a PlayStation, so unfortunately I can't play it right now. Plus, when I played and reviewed the last one, my channel made it pretty clear they could care less about God of War for the most part. Oh, thank you. I thought we'd never get out of there. I'm mainly watching Josh and Telegamer right now. Interesting. I'm not familiar with either one of those channels. 31 degrees is cold, not hot temperature. Interestingly enough, the monarchy times were fairly decent for the time because both of the kings were basically Flanders. So the fact that ever since the monarchy stopped, Brazil got worse and worse, spawned a sizable chunk of monarchists here. Interesting. 30 degrees is going up last I checked. By the way, I tried Forbidden Fist as promised and Pillars of Eternity 2. It is rough. Sorry for the political random. Gotta sleep. Bye. No problem. I don't mind the politics, Leonard. Glad you're able to make the stream. Take care. It's epic, but it backseat games a ton, so it won't make game of the year. Oh, yeah, I heard that. Like every time it brings up a puzzle, it kind of tells you how to solve the puzzle. I was watching Granny. Jeff, what's going on? Glad you're able to make the stream. Watching Granny Gamer play Conan. As soon as she ended, I saw you were streaming. Nice. Glad you're able to join. Are you hurt? No. A little bruised, perhaps. The cold was the worst part. I don't know how you managed to talk that man down. He was practically foaming at the mouth. And now he and his men are still skulking around the mountains. I'm not sure letting him live was the best idea. The commander wasn't the problem. One of the delegates points an accusing finger at another, a woman standing apart from the rest. We might have come to terms if she hadn't goaded him, shouting at him about omens and curses, demanding he leave the march. You know how superstitious the Red Sarens are. The commander went white as a sheet. She sabotaged the meeting. The woman in question is dressed in unassuming robes. She bears the accusation silently, her eyes closed as if in prayer. Who are you? With desperate speed, the woman suddenly lunges sidelong towards a nearby rack and seizes a dagger lying there. She sets the blade to her own throat. Holy smokes. Don't remember that at all. Oh, snap! Insanity. Unseen to all but yourself, the dying woman's soul essence coils in thin wisp about her body. It only grows brighter as her corpse stills. The remaining delegates stare in horror at her pooling blood. What just happened? Damn it! Now we'll never get an answer out of her. Did they pull your names out of hat when they put this delegation together? Hello, darling. How are you? I got to bail as well. Lunchtime calls. Hopefully I'll catch you guys again someday. No problem, Gary. Take care. Glad you were able to make it for a little while. Monks are rough regular, but Forbidden Fist is mad. It's extremely difficult to get their main resource. So what, does Forbidden Fist use something other than wounds? I'll probably do the same thing with Ragnarok as I did with the last one. Just wait for someone to upload all the story stuff on YouTube and watch it like it's a movie. Makes sense, yeah. Especially since I have to wait so long for it, not having a PlayStation. Makes a ton of sense. Okay, had 4 hours of sleep and I went to sleep after 7:45 until 12:45 p.m. And I'm fine. I could do cat naps for an hour or two and be fine. Nice. I'm waiting for some people I like to stream God of War. Yeah. I would if I had a PlayStation, but unfortunately. Yeah, Princess, that was crazy. For her to just run off and cut her throat like that. Robert, what's going on? How are you? Glad you're able to make the stream, man. Read the woman's soul. You reach out and brace against a sudden flare of pain and fear, digging after less recent events. There's a copper taste in your mouth and a pain like fire in your throat. Under the brute terror of death, you find a comforting thread of resolve, of satisfaction and duty fulfilled. You follow it. It leads you stumbling into another memory, as whole and vivid as the first. You walk the dark halls of an abbey, dimly lit and quiet, your footsteps loud, a blur, and you are standing in a dimly lit room facing a robed Amua. You recognize him as Kyoto, the High Abbot. He beckons you forward. Examine your surroundings. You are in a wide, rounded chamber. The tiles beneath your feet are covered in strange, curling symbols. You recognize them as symbols of Andra, goddess of sea and memory. The memory blurs. When your sight is clear, you are standing in front of Kyoto, and he is smiling gently down at you.
Drive the raid Sarens from these mountains, and you may yet spare many lives. The Tidebringer will be here in a week's time. Should you be delayed in your travels, report to him as you would to me. He will enter the Reliquary and call off the army of eyeless in my stead. If you are caught, sister, you know what you must do. I will pray for your return, but we will take comfort in the knowledge that you have joined the rest of Andra's favorite in her keeping.
Hey, good night, darling. Put your phone down and close your eyes. Forbidden Fist makes it so that you only get wounds from after recovering from hostile effects. In the early game, that's rust. Nobody gets hostile effects. Absolutely, yeah. I think that's probably why I avoided that previously. I'm great, just relaxing. Good to hear, Robert. I'm also watching Harvestella. It's pretty good for a Switch game. Harvestella. I don't think I've ever heard of that. What's that about? Good evening. Hope all are happy and healthy. I got no complaints at all, Keith. How are you doing? The words jar you loose from the memory, flinging you back into the moment of the woman's death and then into your own skin. But traces of her memory join yours. You know the path to the Abbey to which she was to return, buried in the mountains to the north. Is the name eyeless familiar to anyone? The eyeless? They're a figure of speech for when you can't remember something. You say, must be the eyeless took it from me. Hey, I am the boss of you in this. She's sick as a dog right now, y'all. She can barely stand up. She's completely lost her voice, but she's piddling around on her phone watching TikTok videos on Facebook and commenting on my stream. Go to bed. Yes, but there's a story to it. They're supposed to do the bidding of the Lady of Lament. Andra points and they come out of nowhere, wipe things from the face of the world. That's why whenever something goes missing or gets destroyed with no one there to see it, you're supposed to thank Andra that the eyeless didn't come for you too. Do you know a Kyoto? Kyoto? Oh yes. He came through town some time back, stopped by at the temple in Stalwart. This was just after the town decided to rededicate it to Abaddon. He didn't seem too pleased about it. He was dressed like a priest. Maybe he took offense. He's an Amua, like you, and very polite, considering he's apparently the leader of some fanatical sect. Tell it all your business, woman, so that they know why I'm being so firm with you. Basically, farming and adventure anime game. Ooh, that sounds cool. Nice. Solasta base game is 65% off on Steam. Nice. They want to make it easy for people to pick it up so that they can buy the new DLC. That makes sense. Take care, dear. Sleep well. I think it's clear we haven't been the best judges of characters recently. Do any of you know what a Tidebringer is? Tidebringer. That's something they used to talk about at the Temple of Andra, I think. It's a person, a title, I mean. Tends to be used in the more devout circles. What about the eyeless? Have you heard of them? The eyeless, they're a figure of speech. Oh, wait, didn't we just say? Yeah, we just went through that. Do you know anything about an abbey to the north? I've heard of something like that, an Andrite stronghold. Not the kind of place that welcomes visitors. Is that where she came from? The delegate points to the dead woman. Yes, and it's where I'll find the Reliquary so I can call off their army. What? Another one? Gods, it feels like everyone on Eora is after the battery now. Why would these Andrites want the Red Sarens out? I doubt it's for Stalwart's benefit. Competition, maybe? Slandered. Make her some homemade chicken noodle soup. She's not hungry anymore. She's already eaten earlier. She still went to work, even though she shouldn't have. And she's got some tea. She's got a large glass of tea right next to her. And she just took some Excedrin. She's good. The only thing that needs to happen is she needs to turn off her phone, put it down, close her eyes, and go to sleep. That's the problem here. There's nothing more that I can do. I'd better go ask them. If you do mean to go to this abbey, be careful. There have been stories about traders wandering north and getting scared off or even killed by strange guards. They're a secretive bunch. I suppose you could always try to sneak in. I doubt you'll be welcome otherwise. It sounds like this Tidebringer would be. Welcome, I mean. Maybe I could convince them I'm the one they've been waiting for. I hope so. I imagine the Abbey is heavily... A sudden, deafening crash from outside makes the delegate jump, startled. A rumbling like thunder follows. You hear further sounds of smashing timbers, panic screaming. You know her in real life? Yeah, kid, that's my wife. That's my wife being silly. Gods have mercy. What is it now? Stay put. I'll take care of it. Yes, we'll wait here, inside. All right. Save here. What's in here? Oh, I don't need any more of those. Actually, no. Let's go ahead and... God dog it. A whistling reed. Quest? Assign. Yeah, that's fine. Here we go. There we go. I can hear you in the other room. I was off the phone, but got back on to defend my reputation. You are so silly. And turn off your phone and go to bed. I've done nothing to your reputation. Oh, that's where these creatures come from. Oof. Well, is it just these two? Eyeless hammer, eyeless hammer. Ooh, they're vessels, though. All right.
This is something far fouler and beyond.
So you... barely injured. You're also barely injured. That's not cool. Ooh, he is getting all the way hit up. They are not immune to prone, nor are they immune to paralyzed. He's been nice. He's been knocked prone. That's excellent. Wow. These guys. Oh, okay. This guy is more injured. All right. Let's deal with you then. You need to get some of this back. You rake these fools. Do something. You. What have you done? Here. Let's get this on and popping. All right. Yeah. All right. All right. He just did that. What else? Oh yeah. Use the hammer. Let's do that again. And yeah. Let's hammer. Let's keep hammering him. There we go. All right. Now that, and then you, yeah, put that on yourself. There we go. And you already got that. So here, we'll do a little bit of that. And you know what? I wouldn't mind the hammer one more time. Yep, there we go. Yep, you can do that too. That's fine. Whoa, these guys are kind of no joke. Kind of no joke. Yikes. I know exactly how that goes. Are they undead type? No, I think they're like machines working for the specific group. Fine, going to bed now. Just remember, this is being recorded. I will check on my honor later. Whatever gets you to bed, darling. These guys hit so super hard. Yeah, that was no joke. As the last mage folk falls, a tide of essence sweeps through the ether. It washes over you, and you find yourself in the memories of the eyeless. The hulking creatures surround you, their sinew wrapped skeletons clanking and screeching in the semi-darkness. Their bodies fill the air with the tang of metal and the musk of sweat. The cavern in which you stand, it looks like a cavern anyway, glows with a dim ambient light. Steel flashes as the eyeless shift and stir. They stamp their feet and groan in rasping metallic voices. Their restless energy prickles at the back of your neck. And in the echoing rumble, you hear something familiar. It's the pounding noise from your dream, the harbinger of a terrible army. You begin to wonder how many eyeless are crowded around you. You suspect there may be scores of them, maybe more. It's difficult to tell how far back this chamber goes or where it is. Ahead, you see a glint of light. It might be an exit. Already, however, the vision is starting to fade. Explore further into the chamber or investigate the glint of light. Investigate the glint of light. You push past a lumbering eyeless and cling to the wilting shreds of the vision. The light up ahead is blinding after the dark of the cave. You rush toward it even as it fades into a pale blur. You can't see where you are, but you hear a cold wind whistling through the gap and feel a spray of moisture sting your cheeks. The vision ends, returning you to the frozen and blood-churned mud of the fort. Adaric appears to have taken some blows. There's a purpling bruise along his temple, and his arm is dented in several places. He looks rather dazed.
Those things, they came from all sides. The delegate... No, you were right. The visions are true.
Adaric looks you over. Butcher, what's going on, man? Glad you could join the stream. Yes, my daughter is doing significantly better now. Now it's my wife who is sick as a dog and refusing to do what she's supposed to be doing. But she's all right as well. She just needs a couple of days rest and she'll be back up on her feet. So yeah, all of us are doing much better. Thank you for answering.
You fought well. And I am glad to see you've come through in one piece, even if I regret the loss of my men. I'll take what's left of our forces. Those that will follow me further up the mountain. We should be prepared when those monsters return.
We could defeat them if we work together.
I have seen already that there is little you can't accomplish.
Adaric bows his head and turns to the road. Ooh, that was kind of rough.
Like an animancer's construct. But what could have made creatures like this?
Very good question. All right.
Indeed.
Where were we? In the middle of this field over here? Yep. Okay, yeah, that's definitely the exit you want to come to, because trying to get to the front from over there, that probably would have been brutal. Cool. Nothing beats good health. Health is wealth. Absolutely. I used to think that was kind of a jokey thing to say, but in my much older age, I have learned. Absolutely. Health is wealth. All right. I think it's time to go ahead and finally level up. I think, yeah, we're at max level now. Is there any point in doing survival? Not really, but there's no point in doing anything else either, so we might as well just go ahead and take it. Sure, I'll take Silent Scream, I guess. Psychic Blacklash, sure, whatever. I just want the extra focus. Oh, man, no extra focus? Only 55? Oh, wow. Nothing. Oh, that's great for him, so yeah, we'll just do that. Rapid recovery, what's this? The endurance, weapon mastery, soldier. Oh, weapon mastery. Right. Yeah. We'll take that. And that's done. And okay. And then her, stealth finally came in handy. But you know what? I want a couple more on athletics. Reaping 9, sure, we'll pick that up. And then, sure, psychic backlash, I guess. Why not? What character is yours? So this character, this guy over here, Slandered, he's mine, and I am a cipher. He still won't let me increase mechanics at all, even though he's getting absolutely destroyed. Unlock. Bonus first level spell. Bonus second level spell. Don't need any of those. Utility. Wound binding. Defensive. Did he have? He does have. You know what? Where's some fortitude? We'll give you some more fortitude, bruh. And then you. 10 on survival. Nothing. Yeah, we'll just go. What's deep faith? Some more deflection and all that kind of stuff. Sure, whatever. I don't know if that's even right for you, but we'll go with it. And then you, what's your deal? We'll go with one of those. It's fine. Ooh. Cattle balls, black bow, major Ingram, piercing sigil. Nah, still not all that great. We're fine. We'll take this one. Arcane Veil, bonus third level spell. We'll take Apprentice Sneak Attack. It's fine. Is that an electrical infused mace? Which one are you asking about? This one? I don't think it's electricity. It is, it's just got magic on it, and he can blind people with it. And it's got some damage resistance bypass, but it's not electrical. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and heal. And there we go. We're all good now.
Certainly.
We'll go back in here. And pick this up. Gruff delegate. Who are you? What were those things? Okay, whatever. Although the delegates are all still hanging around here. Okay, fine. One good thing about COVID is that at least down here in the lands of Oz, ever since the pandemic started, people have been way more careful about spreading illnesses, wearing masks when sick, etc. Yep, absolutely. People are more considerate of each other. Like I honestly, I hate the social distancing aspect of it because it makes me feel so much more separated from people around me. But the level of care people use now when they know they are sick and know there's the potential of spreading that sickness to other folks is something I definitely really appreciate. All right. Here we go. Now we have the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. I don't know if that's supposed to be the very last area, but we're just gonna go ahead and do it. We're just gonna do it live, y'all. We're just gonna go ahead and go up in there. All right. Hoping this is the final map. Not sure, though. A wealthy noble has arrived, but your patrols intervened. We already got that. Lord Cirque always just giving me some extra prestige. Whatever. Oh, here. Let me go ahead and save here. Infiltrate the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. Too tired to stick around the old stream, but one that at least greet you. Hope things are going okay. Thanks, Argo. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, things are going okay on my side. I got no complaints. Hope things are going well for you as well, and that you're able to get some rest tonight. The Fallen Moon. Here we are. Okay. A dwarf, cloth, and but a few straps of fur puffs his bare chest with every drag from his pipe. Come a long way to get some air, have you? What are you doing here? Enjoying the fine weather, just a bit longer. He smiles, letting a cloud of smoke and frosted breath escape through his teeth. My mistress had business with the Ondrites. We'll be off as soon as she's done with the Abbey. Meantime, I was told to stay put. They don't want any outsiders meandering about. She already put some kind of hex on me. Says I won't even remember any of this, but the copper's worth it. She says I'll wake up at home with a full coin purse, opposite of most of my mornings, so that had a certain appeal. Tell me about your mistress. Which one? He lets out a chuckle and slaps his chest. A reddening print blooms on his skin. Wish you were the fun kind. She's a gift bearer. Paid me well to guard her on the journey, though. I'm looking to get inside. Are you now? He pulls the pipe away from his clenched teeth and points his long stem to the path ahead. Far as I know, straight this way. The middle path on the right with the ruined ark, if they let you in, course. Ondrites are none too friendly, but to their own. My mistress went through the archway, spoke to some guards there, then headed on. He bites down on his pipe with a sour expression. They got eyes on the other paths. Cast me dirty looks from afar when they pass this way. He grunts. As if I'd stand here in plain view if I had some grand design of sticking it to their blazing church. And what's an abbey got to that's worth hiding anyway? Monks? He grunts again and shakes his head and mutters something about if he were younger. Why are you helping me? He shrugs. You got a look about you. Look like you need it. And maybe there's something I don't like about this place, like it's hiding something. My younger days, I'd be going in there. Do you know of other ways into the Abbey? No, but it's an abbey, not a fortress. You can bet it's got holes like any fat old monster. Supply passages, escape routes. He shrugs as if it was a matter of course. I'd be lying if I said I never explored one uninvited when I was too young to know better, help myself to its relics. Let's just say if a certain war goddess has her way, I'll be living my next life as a dung roll bug. Farewell. Doubt we'll meet again. Any luck, my mistress will return soon. Hope you find what you're looking for. Okay. We'll go up this way. Wait. He said the middle passage, right?
White flame and sound.
White flame and sound. All right, let's see.
Even our visitor is to be turned away, he said.
What interest would our quarters hold?
Hold. Who's there? Lie. Kyoto is waiting for me. I am the Tidebringer. The guard's eyes narrow. How can I be sure? Perception. You don't get many visitors, do you? Who else would choose to come here but the Tidebringer? The guard relaxes and appears relieved. Forgive my caution. We were told to expect you. The High Abbot awaits you inside. Hey. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Undisturbed by the high winds above, a mist hides the depths of this chasm.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
Let's check this first. Then save. Go around here.
Me.
I should not have peered over the edge. I could see no bottom.
Ha! Perhaps if you pray.
I'll just blessings upon you, Tidebringer. Okay, cool. So it looks like I'm already in the know. What's this? I already have the max I need for this. I don't know if this is the case everywhere in the world, but unfortunately it's not the case in France. I have the impression that our citizens don't care anymore. They were cautious in 2020 and 2021. So it's almost 1 year. It is becoming like before. Everybody doesn't take precaution and doesn't care about the health of the people around them. Well, that's what happens, right? Humans have short memories. So we'll do what we need to do for a little while, but sooner or later people forget why these precautions were so necessary. There's a secret on this map once you uncover it all. Interesting. I'm looking forward to figuring that out. With only an ominous moaning of the crevice to disturb your thinking, you consider your options. Inspect the area. Considering spanning the gap in the position of the skeletal hand, you believe a well-placed grappling hook will allow you to reach the other side. Though positioning the hook may be tricky, the winds are not so strong that they would endanger attempts to cross. With only the ominous, leave. I don't think I need to do it, right? An angry wind whistles as it twists around the frozen fingers of this giant skeletal hand. Since they've already accepted me as the Tidebringer, or whatever the name of that thing was called, I don't think I need this necessarily. So, we'll hold off on that and come back to it shortly.
Keeping an eye out.
Steven, what's going on? How are you? Glad you were able to join the stream. Protruding from the side of the cliff, what appears to be a massive hip bone lies encrusted in a prison of rocks and ice.
Kauto knew Saman was upon us.
The Tidebringer. It's been so long.
My soul is ready, brother. So they let you through? You must be our visitor. The High Abbot awaits you inside. Straight back.
Nice. Okay. Looks
A
like
simple
everybody
test.
accepts me.
That's settled.
So that wasn't too difficult. Well, that's good because even after I uncovered and do what I need to do here, I still got to come back with Maneha and do her quest. So that works for me. All right, and this is where it would have dropped me, and I could have come through this door if I wanted to do things secretly.
To whispers and shadows.
This door is sealed shut. Should be another path, right? I'm just doing it the slow and sneaky way only because I'm not sure if there are like secret things to uncover, that's all. So wait, we have the middle and then
They shall see nothing.
there we
but
go.
us.
What's this? Protruding from the, oh, yep, we already saw that. What is this? What is this? Ooh, another whole area. A coppery sheen glistens under the layers of ice that cling around this giant femur with the colors of the rainbow. Wow, this is kind of a big place. The giant wrist bone ends without providing any clues as to the location of its matching hand. Huh. He said this wasn't a fort, but you could have fooled me. Good Lord. All right. And hey, a little bit more over here. Random stuff. Okay. And here's that last path. Excellent. So does that mean, yep, we have seen the whole thing. Excellent. And now go to this door. Hall of Presence. Hall of Presence. Halls of Silence. Okay. It's different depending on what state you are in here in Australia. For example, in New South Wales, the government there did the bare minimum from the start, so people stopped caring much quicker.
Such a strange facade. I've not seen or heard of anything like it, even in Air Glanfa.
Leadership starts from the top down. If your leaders don't care about it, it's hard to expect the people to care about it. So I completely understand. Figure out how to reach the Reliquary. Let's see how this is
You
going to
are
go.
a guest, I take it?
Oh,
You will
okay.
find the abbot past the chamber of the fallen moon, behind me.
The craftsman that gave form to the statue appears too skilled and refined to come from mere mortal hands. Okay, so I don't have to really stick around. We're good in this whole area. They're not going to attack me.
I never knew. Did you hide in the White March after that?
As far away as I could. The Dominels didn't care I was a gift bearer.
The High Abbot
Evidence
imparted to
is
me that I
evidence.
wasn't alone. He has nightmares sometimes as well.
Despite the warmth of the nearby fires, a thin layer of frost clings to this store of supplies.
Truly?
Something over there.
It surprised me to hear it. He has such a peaceful manner.
I think the skills are high enough that we're finding, yeah, we're coming up with the secret things, even when we're not necessarily sneaking around to find them. So it's this area, right? Yeah. Oh, whoops. Oh, wow. Yeah, it sounds like the United States is exactly like the United States, especially since there were some areas that did not care about COVID at all and completely ignored it, even when it was absolutely ravaging the citizens. The crazy thing is a place like Florida, where COVID was absolutely running rampant and killing a bunch of folks, but they still love all the government officials who were involved in basically ignoring COVID there. And on some level, I understand it, because what you've seen around the country is a lot of businesses that were forced to close, a lot of people who completely lost their livelihoods and their dreams, and there was no support whatsoever from the government. It was just nothing. It was, hey, we for the public good, you have to stay at home and sit and do nothing, even if that causes you to starve, which is just grossly unfair. And so I'm sure there's a lot. On the one hand, you look at all those people dying, you're like, this is terrible, something should be done. But on the other hand, there's a whole lot of people who are like, I need to be able to go to work. I need to be able to feed myself and feed my families. So I'm glad that we're not doing some of the things that Chicago and some of those other places have done that proved to be very devastating to small businesses. You know, I'm of the mindset that telling people to stay home and closing these businesses was the right thing to do. But at the same time, the government should have subsidized it. The government should have stepped in and said, okay, we're going to fund you all X amount of dollars to help keep you all afloat while you're doing this. You know, it's really, it's crazy what people are comfortable with the government funding and then what they're not comfortable with the government funding. And to me, that is a perfect example of when the government should step in. But it is what it is. That didn't happen, and now we have a whole lot less businesses. I mean, again, I'm here in Chicago, and I could just see the places where I may not have frequented the businesses there, but I knew they were there. And to now see it's basically abandoned buildings, it's extremely disheartening. It's extremely disheartening because you don't know if things are ever going to be the same again. You don't know if those businesses are going to come back. You don't know if somebody else is going to step in to fill that gap. You know, or are we just permanently in this situation? It's scary times, to be honest. Where the other armed rights in the Abbey are clad in drab, functional garments, the Samoa seems dressed for an occasion. His robe is bright and glossy. His neck and arms are bedecked with jewelry. The symbols of his goddess are crowded into every available space. Yeah, I watched it unfold and just laughed. It was so tragic. It was funny. Then it wasn't. We should take an example from some East Asian countries where they are more careful and strict about health measures. You know, that's kind of the thing. In some of those Asian countries, they're very, very used to doing what the government tells them to do. And sometimes that's for reasons that are, you know, let's be frank, kind of tragic. So it's kind of that catch-22, right? On the one hand, we've got more freedom in the United States. You're not necessarily expected to just do everything the government wants you to. And it's great that the citizens have that freedom. But the flip side of that is when the government really, really needs us all to come together and do something for the social good, a lot of times it's very difficult, especially in today's times when we're so divided on our perspectives and how we see things. You can have a situation where thousands of people across the country are dying at record rates because of this new disease, but nobody can agree on how to actually address that. And some people flat out don't want to address it. Yeah. Poorly handled. Monthly UBI would have helped. Yep. Instead, we got $1,200 for the entire year. What is that going to do for you if you've lost your business? Nothing. Exactly. I was wondering where the support was. For us, the federal government did put through support for people and businesses who needed help, but lockdowns, etc., were up to the states. Excuse misdiagnosing treatment and delaying surgeries and things like that. That the additional mutations of COVID were conspiracy or something. Mm-hmm. Yep. The state I live in, Queensland, did a good job with keeping COVID under control, but travel restrictions and vaccine mandates could only be kept in place for so long. Yeah, that's the other thing. People, it wears on people to be forced to stay in, to be told what to do. Like, you can't put up that stuff forever. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, I'm someone personally, I'm strongly against wearing a mask. But the reason I'm strongly against wearing a mask is because I got vaccinated. So from my standpoint, I'm like, why do I have to still wear a mask if I've been vaccinated? Like that, I thought that was the whole point of all of us taking the shot, is so that we could get back to a point where we're not wearing masks. And so to be in this space now where people are basically saying, even if you've been vaccinated, even if you've done the responsible thing as a citizen, you should still always be wearing masks when you go out. To be honest with you, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I want to go back to the way things were. So I'm like, if we all have to get vaccinated, cool. If we all have to get boosted, cool. Tell us what we have to do, but allow me to go back to some semblance of normalcy. Don't tell me that, hey, just wearing masks every time I step outside or every time I'm at any sort of event is now the standard and what I have to, and the way things are going to have to be until what, the end of time? Like, nah, I'm not with it. I'm not with it at all, to be frank with you.
Good. The Conclave has elected a Tidebringer after all. I had begun to worry.
If anyone approaches our door, I beat them with a gun. I mean, to be honest with you, I know a couple of people who basically ignored the issues and decided to have these full-on events before the vaccines were out and lost people they loved. I mean, really, really loved. Like my wife knows a guy who lost his father. They just had a birthday party. It was a birthday party for him. Let a bunch of people come together. Father caught COVID, didn't make it. So I can't fault you at all for being steadfast like that. Like, there are some people who are really, really flippant about the situation, and they paid the ultimate price for it, the ultimate price. And so that's another reason why I want to get the vaccine. It goes back to why I'm losing this weight. It would hurt so deeply for me to die over something that was easily preventable, that I absolutely should have been able to prevent. So it would be crushing to end up passing due to weight or due to COVID. Like, the vaccine is out there. The information is out there. You have the ability to protect yourself. Don't go out that way. And unfortunately, we spent the last couple of years watching a whole lot of people go out that way unnecessarily. For what? For what? My dad, my uncle didn't take it serious, had kids over for Christmas. Now he's a type 3 diabetic. Yeah, you don't want it. Mm-hmm. So let me put food on the table. Absolutely. Another thing against wearing a mask is you have to consider keeping on those germs when you cough into the mask, and such can impact you too. There's a reason you are coughing season after all. Absolutely. He looks back up, noticing your company, and nods.
And they took my advice in providing you an escort. Very good. I am sorry I could not make your journey easier. I am Kauto, the High Abbot.
I came as soon as I could.
And just in time. The May Queen's tide is nearly past its peak. Much longer, and we'd have had to wait another year. The rules of the Rising are quite clear on that, unfortunately. When you are ready, we will begin with the recitation.
The Conclave mentioned something about a Reliquary.
Yes, of course. I would not pass my station to you without passing that knowledge as well. It is the Abbey's most sacred chamber. When the Rising is complete, I will take you there myself. In fact, the ritual demands it.
About the recitation.
You seem nervous. The Conclave chose you for a reason. For a devout follower of Ondra, The answers will flow naturally to you. I remember my own rising. The Conclave sent me on the same exhausting journey. When it came time for the recitation, I could not remember a word. But it all came back in time. Our goddess smiles upon the forgetful.
He taps a large golden ring with a wave insignia as though it were proof.
Our library is open to you, as are the grounds outside. There is a beautiful mural out there that you should see, if you haven't yet. And you may, of course, speak with the gift bearers here, if it helps your recollection. Take your time and examine these things before your recitation.
What if I fail?
Do not be afraid to fail. A lapse here or there is to be expected. But do take care in your work. Even my patience has limits.
He looks you in the eye, his face stern. How did you become the High Abbot?
I was elected by the Conclave, as you were. But you already knew that much.
This voice is from Skyrim? Interesting. You know, it's been so long since I played Skyrim, I can't even remember, honestly.
It was unexpected. There were others more accomplished. I was merely a scholar. But they each had their faiths called into question. And no one could find cause to doubt mine.
He smiles proudly, exposing for the first time yellowed, worn teeth. He seems conscious of your gaze and quickly hides them again.
It was such an honor to become one of Andra's most trusted servants. It was hardly a choice at all.
How are you so certain I am the Tidebringer?
If you were not, you would be the first person to stumble across this place in all my years here. Andra protects us in this place. The faithful who stand guard here do it in her honor, not because we are vulnerable.
He looks at you sidelong.
You are our Tidebringer, aren't you?
Oh, not much of a liar. I almost want to tell him the truth. You know what? In truth, I came here to enter your reliquary and call out the eyeless.
I do not know how you came to know of this place, or the things you speak of. But know that you shall never speak of them again.
I'm not interested in going against the whole damn crew. I will let that ride. Now that I think about it, I wonder when was the last save I did. Your character's biography writes itself as your adventures unfold. The community of voice actors that frequent video games is large, but not so large that you don't hear the same person here and there. Absolutely. Wasn't he Nazim, the jerk? Oh, so not that far. I think I just picked up something here. Yeah, that's fine.
I best shed some gear.
There we go. All right.
And when you are ready, when the rising, and do take care in your work. It was such an honor.
Okay. So let's quick save here, and then can I fumble my way through this recitation? We can begin the recitation.
Very good. We shall commence the rising. First is Anthu. Last is Dianthu. For the tide comes at the end and leaves at the beginning. I am Disaman the Ebb. Who comes this way?
Lore, I am Saman the Flood.
Blessed be Saman, that washes over the shore and brings the end. Blessed be Disaman, that returns to the sea and leaves behind the beginning. A gift bearer comes to Disaman and asks him to bear his burdens away. What token do you offer, gift bearer?
I give myself, for a gift bearer has no other tokens to offer.
The token is received in Andra's name. Tell me of your burdens.
I have none, for all that belongs to Andra is forgotten.
In Andra's embrace, our burdens are lifted.
Kyoto appears pleased. He nods.
The Tidebringer shows himself worthy of his charge. Your purpose here, Tidebringer, is to perform the ceremony of the rising. It is the transition of one phase of service to the next. On the level beneath us in the halls of silence, our low-tide brothers and sisters have lived for many years, sealed by their own will. It is time for them to be relieved of service, and for the high-tide brothers and sisters here to take their place. In the halls below, you will find a relic, Ondra's witness, an aspergillum for dispensing holy water, but also something more. It is set into a device it operates atop a flight of steps. The device will flood the halls of silence. This is the rising.
Won't the people down there drown?
It is the will of Ondra. Every monk assigned to the Abbey understands and accepts this.
He smooths back his thick stalks of hair with one hand. A gray strand sticks to his palm. He frowns at it, then looks back up and continues.
The monks here have all served as gift-bearers. We bear away people's most painful memories, and always a part of them remains with us.
Ha! Nah, I made it happen, Boss Page. Absolutely. Butcher, yeah, I'm trying to kind of be the good guy, but also like someone mentioned it. Yeah, Boss Page mentioned it. I don't want to break the Maneha's quest for going through here, so I don't want to kill everybody because I'm not sure if I need these people.
In the halls of silence, memory itself fragments until it is no more. The halls are a reprieve from a gift-bearer's burden.
He nods.
In the end, the halls take all memory, but the process takes a toll, as you might imagine. After many years, when the process is complete, the rising is performed, to give final peace to those who dwell there. This is your charge.
Kill half your monastery seems like counterintuitive idea. That's the way I feel, but you know, maybe they know better. What do I do when the rising is complete?
The high tide is to replace the low, and stand vigil in the halls of silence until the next rising. When you have completed the rising, bring Ondra's witness to me here. I will show you the last of what you need to know.
Once I have Ondra's witness, what do I do with it? Didn't he just answer that?
The device it operates is a simple valve mechanism. It will be clear to you when you see it.
I don't want to choose a die it immediately option because I feel like that might turn him against me, so we'll just leave.
To reach your destination, you will need to know the sign of the tide, which is kept only by the High Abbot. It's said that it is the first knowledge lost when the Abbot joins the low tide in the halls of silence. Watch carefully.
Kyoto contorts the fingers of his right hand into a particular curl shape. Then, with his left hand, he traces an arc from center to end, simultaneously with his index and little fingers.
I trust you will perform your duty, Tidebringer.
Aha! Progress! And what's this? And hey, we'll check on that when we get back. So what's in here? So he was saying right behind him.
He seemed preoccupied.
I expect I would be too in his position.
Right, okay. Ooh, this is gift bearer. A thin film of iridescent dust floats on the calm surface of the waters, obscuring the depths. A massive crystal, its jagged edges iridescent with an unearthly glow, pierces through the dome. Mosaics and tiles have been carefully arranged around the strange rock. The gift bearer holds in her hand a gem the size of a fist. Oh, crap. Sorry, one moment. Boom, boom. There we go. Accelerationism, baby. Florian, what's going on? How are you? Yeah, I got rid of the bots boss page. Yeah, for their daily visit. I don't know what they bothering me. We don't have a ton of viewers. I ain't making no real money. What you bothering me for? Come on now. What happened to that gem? What gem? The gem you tossed it to the pool. I remember no gem. You tossed it in. How could you have forgotten? The pool is blessed by Ondra, Tidebringer. I don't understand. The gift bearer smiles placidly. All that belongs to Andra is forgotten, and all things forgotten belong to Andra. She stares into the pool, entranced. The rising tide. All right. Oh wait, we didn't go all the way over on this side, so let's do that real quick. Hey, these are upstairs. Where does this go to? Abbey, the Reliquary. Okay, but we can't do anything with that yet. The Crested Hall, okay? Soldiers, soldiers, soldiers.
This is the record?
Something over
Yes.
there.
See that it is cast away with the others.
Oh, this is the library we could have went to if we needed more help trying to do the recitation.
They call out sometimes. Even the guards below think it's strange.
For Andra, most like. They surely long for her embrace.
They surely long for her embrace. Oh, no. Okay, so we're here. Save here. What's back behind here?
See now what
The
the
Vault
flame
of
has shown
Forgotten
us?
Thoughts. Like a living prison, thick arms of coral have grown around an assortment of old, weathered relics.
A simple test.
What's this? St. Wegel's Cudgel. Rough. Oh, wait. What's this over here? 2 rubies. Okay. That's all done. And then let's just check back over here. Dun. Done that. That wasn't cool at all. Why didn't you notice that, Durance? All right. Let's get out of here and go down to that silence area. I felt like we looked all around outside and never saw that mural he was referencing. Maybe I'm wrong?
Even with your labors, your presence of mind never falters. I don't know how you do it.
Perhaps your thoughts would swim deeper if your tongue didn't come out for air so often, dear brother.
Wow. That's one way to make things clear. All right, and we'll go ahead. Hireling paid, that's irrelevant. Does it take me out to the Abbey? Ramparts of the Abbey. Yeah, I don't want to go to ramparts. All right, so now head outside, find that mural, and then we head down to the silence area. Come on. All right, where are we? Oh, maybe it's up here? Oh, there's a part over here that we've never seen either. Interesting. Where is the mural? Aha! Andrite Title Fist. A mural is rendered on the face of the rock wall. 4 panels seem to be arranged as a story of some kind. Inspect the mural. First panel, and through the end. Inspect the next panel. Second panel, Saman the flood. Inspect the next panel. Disaman the ebb. Inspect the next panel. Dianthu the beginning. Continue. Huh. Okay. Well, we have it now in case that information turns out to be valuable later on, but
I can do that.
bottom line, we did not need it. Excellent. Got that. Okay.
You look pale, sister.
Now let's go for the
Find
silence.
someone to take your place. I'll stand watch.
I'd hoped I was over this illness, but clearly not.
Oh, here we
I
go.
shall take your advice.
What illness? Are you going to go straight to Pillars of Eternity 2 when you finish this one? Probably too early to ask yourself this question. No, I am going to Pentiment, the new Obsidian game. It's getting like 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10 scores. So I'm going to go into that one first. They said it's only like 20 hours, so it'll probably take us a couple, knock on wood. It'll take us a week, maybe 2 to get through it. And then I'll go into Pillars of Eternity 2. Keep in mind, I say that, but I definitely plan to live stream Midnight Suns, and I think that comes out early December. I don't remember, like December 10th, something like that. I thought it comes out. So whenever that comes out, it's going to interrupt whatever playthrough we're going through because I want to play that and stream that for the channel. All right.
Thoughts will be as silent as my
This looks all nice, dark, and oh, wait, no. This area is forbidden. Kyoto granted me leave to walk freely. So it begins. You may continue, Tidebringer. Be warned, the low tide have been in the halls of silence for a long time. Their minds are not sound. Your presence may provoke them. Interesting. Well, it is what it is. They'll have to get used to me. Yeah, the artworks are cool in this franchise. You're talking about Pillars of Eternity? Love the artwork in this game. Absolutely. Camera, what's going on, man? How are you? Praise in Pentiment. I'm remarking that other channels have praised it. I have not played it yet, so I'm not going to praise it. And what I find kind of interesting, one second, a thin layer of frost sparkles over this store of bread and cabbages. My understanding is that it is all text, no voice acting. Super weird to me that that type of game would get so much praise from general media. I think it's Sawyer, because usually they don't show that type of respect to games that have no voice acting. In fact, I'm trying to remember the last time a game that had no voice acting in it got a 10 out of 10 from these major publications, and I honestly cannot remember it. But regardless, I'm definitely planning on playing it. The massive coppery bones encased in ice seem to be part of the hips of a giant skeleton.
Mind your center. You always knew this time would come.
I've seen the other side, brother. I'll find its waters again, warm and soothing.
Halls of Presence. What is that? Or is that what I came from?
I can do that. That's settled.
What is this? City and the company that made Fallout New Vegas. Yep, absolutely. An acrid and pungent smell climbs up from the depths of this pit. Low tide monk. Low tide monk. Low tide cipher. Clumps of moss and frozen under a layer of slick and green slime build up between the cut stones. The door is sealed shut. Whoa. Man, this feels like a huge place. Where are we now? Okay. Not that much more. Nice. The game has been making me want to play it since it was announced. I'm curious to know your opinion when you'll finish this Pentiment. Absolutely. I'll be sharing it. You see that Aldaria companion camera? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that artwork reminds me of Final Fantasy IX in a weird way. I'll also take a break for Pentiment, and then it's back to throwing frogs at ninjas. Hovering over a skeleton half trapped in ice, a faint trace of essence lingers in the cold air of the cavern. Reach out to the essence. You let your soul envelop the essence. Memories spread in a thin mist under you, dim and torn, their scattered fragments floating like motes of dust in the twilight. You're walking into an oblong chamber. The stones of its underground walls glisten, still wet from the flood waters. A hand claps on your shoulder. You hear her whisper, Arthrak, I don't want to look. The memory vanishes, and now all you see is a slab of stone. You're staring at it just inches away from the wall. Your fingers trace circles on it, digging into the moss that clings on its weathered surface. You're not sure how long you've been touching it. Perhaps you've always been. A scream jolts you. It echoes thunder throughout the halls. Your ears hurt, a pain that digs deep, burrowing into your head like a twisted dagger. You run. Others run. You don't know them. You can't remember them, but somehow you take comfort in their presence. Yes, they will help you with the pain, the noise. You'll kill it. The anger of the memory subsides, and now you're sitting down on steps carved on rock. Dozens of skeletons lie below, beneath frozen water. Their jaws hang open, silent. Yeah, what is that? A low rumble, gargling, growing, deafening. You snap your head to the side in anguish and see it. The water rushing down the halls, pushing you in a torrent of white foam. You fall. Your mouth opens to shout, but your screams are muffled as it fills with water. Rough. 10 out of 10 wife would keep in a party. Her navigator sister, battle tech priest, my battle harem. Whoa, why does that... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. God dog it. No voice actor for Pentiment, like a budget. I have the impression that the market was very discreet on this game. Yeah, that's the impression I got from reading the reviews, that there's no voice acting. But, you know, maybe that won't be true when I actually get into it. But, yeah, definitely didn't feel like that was an option. Oh, this is what I could have jumped to. As they're thrown into the chasm, skeletal remains rest precariously on the ledges of the cliff as far as you can see. All right, back in. I mean, you know it doesn't bother me, though. I'm just going to voice act the characters myself when I go through the game. So, and actually, I feel like my live streaming content is probably better with games that have no voice acting. So, it doesn't bother me. It's just weird that it's gotten such high acclaim when in that situation. I can't remember any other game that has. Now, one interesting thing that they did mention is that they felt like you were not forced to have these long sections where you're just reading text. Like a lot of the text you read, it's just back and forth dialogue, and it's real quick and fast paced. And I think they specifically mentioned Pillars of Eternity. We're feeling like it was throwing a book at you. No, it hurts. Make it stop. Wow, whatever they're doing, they're hitting Eder all the way up. Oh, whoops. Well, I guess he can go over here with it. Yikes. Well, that was poor positioning. But hey.
Of course.
Slowly now.
You'll be there to do the W4s. You know it. Hey.
So this is how Andra takes care of her own.
Nice and quiet.
The door is sealed shut. Uh-oh.
Who's there?
Didn't the OG Disco Elysium have very little voice dialogue that wasn't very good? I believe so. That's the game that they mentioned, not Pillars of Eternity, Disco Elysium. That's the game that they mentioned. And you know what? Yeah, that game had very, very good ratings as well, right? So I guess it's not the first one. Tufts of downy gray hair sprout from the back of this man's scalp like shrubs. His lower lip curls inward over a row of teeth that appear to have mostly fallen out, and a musty odor hangs about him like a fog.
Is that you, Edith? I thought I'd lost you. I called for you. I wanted to search, but the blizzard lasted days. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so it's a narrative adventure game, and it's from Obsidian. So the same people who've made like Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity series, things of that nature. So my understanding is it's extremely well written. Disco Elysium did not have voice acting when it was released. I had to wait 1 year to get one, unless I'm mistaken, and it was excellent. You know, I'm so used now to the new version of it, I completely forgot, but that's absolutely right. It didn't have voice acting when it first came out. He extends a hand in a gesture of apology, but then the fingers curl and he draws it back. He squints as if trying to see you better.
But wait. We did find you. When the thaw finally came, I saw you, rigid, frozen. You cannot be Edith. No, we are in the Abbey. Gift bearers. And you must be the Tidebringer.
His eyes widen. No, I've come here to find something, a Reliquary.
Do I imagine this? How can that be? The Abbey does not receive visitors. I suppose it matters little. The Tidebringer will come one day, and the terrible cycle will continue. The halls of silence. They take our minds, memory by memory. It would be peaceful, we were told, like going to sleep. Look around you. We, the low tide, who have been sealed down here all these many years, do we seem at peace to you? We are lost, terrified.
You did not choose to be here?
Did we? We did. We chose it when we thought it was our duty, and that it would be peaceful. But the more we forget, the less we understand. Every day something familiar becomes strange. If I had known, I'd never have accepted my assignment to the Abbey. Nor would many, I suspect.
Your order attacked me.
Few of us know friend from foe anymore. I may be the only one left who can still speak for us. They are peaceful in their hearts. It is this place. It has confused and agitated them. Please forgive them.
But you mentioned you have problems with main characters that have no voice acting. I remember how much in an uproar many people, many BioWare fans were when Mass Effect 1 was first coming out, when they did the rollout, and it became clear that the main character was going to have a voice. There were a lot of people who felt like having a main character with a voice significantly impacts your ability to roleplay as that character in a negative way. And that it's best if that character is silent so you can imagine the voice and imagine it as being true to the type of character you have in your head. There was a lot of back and forth in the forums about that. I personally also land on the side of it is much easier to draw a connection with a character when you hear their voice and when you associate a voice with that particular person. But I also really like games that either let you choose, give you different options for different voice options for your main character, or allow you to choose a different main character, such as like Divinity Original Sin 2, so that you get some variety and hopefully find something within the options that really fits in with what you want. Who are you?
No one has asked me in I don't know how long. Who was I? I was the High Abbot, wasn't it? High Abbot. Ferentis. That was me. Or the one before me, if not. No longer, though. I am just another brother of the low tide.
Yep, Balako. I absolutely agree. I think Starfield is the same way. I find it very hard to register with a character like that when I'm just looking at the person that I'm talking to, and then I just got the text dialogue, and I never say anything. To me, it feels like I don't really have a character. I much rather the way dialogues happen in like Mass Effect or the Witcher series, where you're going back and forth between being able to see the person's face. It makes you really feel like you are that person. To me, it's easier to role play that way. Honestly, I even prefer the way it is in Wrath of the Righteous and Pillars of Eternity compared to the way it is in the Fallout games. Like, I'd rather just have the portrait. All right, and I see my figurines and they talk back and forth and there's text back and forth. But if I just had like a voice with my character, I would even prefer that. But just being straight on and looking at the person I'm talking to me, it makes me feel like I don't really exist. And I'm just selecting some dialogue options in this conversation. It doesn't work for me at all. Doesn't work for me at all.
I remember a woman. Was she my wife? She had curls in her hair, and she spoke softly. What became of her?
Now that is true, because you have voice acting. It can impact how much dialogue is in the game. So that's a difficult line to straddle. I personally prefer games where they put the budget into the writing, the story, the characters, the dialogue, and then it's okay for me if other things suffer. I think a great example of that is Dragon Age Origins. If you look at the combat, it's shuffle, 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 swing. It's really not that great as far as the combat. That's not really where they put their money. But the story, the characters, the dialogue, all of that was absolutely fantastic, which is why it became such a huge classic. To me, it actually really works to the game's advantage when they go ahead and just put in the voices and then also put it in the budget to give that voices a ton of different dialogues that the player can have access to.
I carry so many memories that I took from strangers who wanted to be rid of them. I don't know what's mine anymore. And there are so many holes. Every image a blur or a void.
This one is lost in the labyrinth of his own mind.
Would that I could be free of this place. Free to make new memories. To know who I am.
What is the Tidebringer meant to do?
The Tidebringer comes to replace the High Abbot. The ritual is called... It is called... The Rising. Yes.
See, Balako, I think whether or not it's a waste of time to have the character's voice depends upon the quality of the writing. Like, sure, there are some times where I looked at the way conversations developed in Mass Effect, and I was like, you're basically just repeating the same thing that I selected, so it doesn't really matter to me. But there are other times, especially when you have the persuasion options, where you have the general tone of what he's going to select, but you have no idea what's actually going to be said. And when he says it, it's very impactful, and you're like, oh man, I love the way that conversation worked out. So I think whether or not it makes the player feel like they wasted their time is dependent upon the quality of the people who are writing this dialogue, which is again why I feel like it should be a huge focus in the game.
We carry so many memories, tragic or dangerous some. We live above for a time, devoted to Andra. Then we come here to forget it all. Wash our souls clean of the memories. When it is done, a Tidebringer is summoned.
Of all the CRPGs you played, what was the most difficult fight you can remember in a CRPG? I mean, that Andra Dragon was pretty ridiculous. But I feel like there's something I'm missing. I played the first Witcher, and that one has some pretty wicked fights as well. But I'm trying to think, is there any that I'm... Oh, you know what? No. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, when you first when you get to Hollywood and you have to deal with the disease that is spread around everywhere and you go into the sewers, and I think that's really your first time going up against a vampire. Hated that fight. Hated that fight. Bloodlines actually has got like 2 or 3 really, really brutal fights where if you are not properly prepared when you go in, you've just got to load back to a previous save because they don't give you any sort of easy way to overcome these battles.
Those above the high tide, they become the low tide. It means they are brought here to the halls of silence.
Ava would have greatly benefited from voice acting. It's so weird the way everybody else who has a similar amount of dialogue has a voice, but she doesn't. It's weird and it's off-putting.
But not before the old low tide are removed, drowned in a flood, and swept away. The rising.
What is it you want from me?
There is a relic, an aspergillum, it was called. What was it?
He thinks for a while with a pained expression, his lips mouthing words.
Well, it doesn't matter. It controls the floodwaters, but also the outer floodgates. Andra's Witness. That is the name. It is down here, but I don't recall how to reach it. The High Abbot knows. If you can find out from him, you could set us free. Open the gates. We would leave in peace and finish our lives in dignity.
Are you certain it's wise to release the low tide in this condition?
We are all so old now. There is little damage we could do in this state.
I don't know. We had this old fella in Gilded Vale. Looked harmless, couldn't talk, but he'd bite you if you tried to steal his steak when no one was looking.
Once we are free of this place, we will be able to make memories again. The confusion and paranoia will pass.
I'll see what I can do. Ferentis nods absently.
Use the door behind me. Safer that way.
Recover Andra's Witness. Okay. Vampire the Masquerade Werewolf. Me playing Gangrel with Max Brawl and Protein. Ooh. Ooh.
Eyes
open. Yeah, you know, most of the time when I was playing Bloodlines, if I was playing a Brujah, then I was built for Brawl, and it was no problem. But if I was playing like a Toreador or Ventru, I always built myself for guns. And so that fight in Hollywood was just brutal. An acrid and pungent smell climbs up from the depths of this pit. The heart is... Oh, yeah, Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines. If you're doing a social stealth build, when you first walk in, one of the mandatory boss fights is a trial. Yep, exactly. And that's basically the deal. I was building myself up for guns. And so when it came time to do things that required brawl, it was much harder. Y'all need to get down the floor. Just stay down the floor. It's gonna be okay. That's excellent. And then we'll do that for you right afterwards. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. There we go.
I'll see what I can find.
Oh, so I could have bypassed that whole fight by just sticking with his door. Whatever. I'm not worried about that. The hardest boss I bashed my head into was the Edge from Furry. The total pivot in how the game plays from top down to essentially 2D and extremely punishing frame data tore me down bad. I have no idea. What game are you talking about? Underrail as a whole was massively difficult. So that for me. Alabas, what's going on? Underrail is nuts. Such a high learning curve. Yeah, I keep hearing people tell me about Underrail. I'm not sure if it's my kind of game. I play games for story and dialogue, not for difficulty. So I'll, push through a difficult game if the story pulls me along and I'm like, oh, okay, I really want to see what happens next. But if I don't care about what happens next, going through a difficult game feels pointless for me. So I don't know. Do you all like Underrail for the story and the dialogue? And, I don't think it even has companions, right? So do you get that interaction that you can get from like a Baldur's Gate 2 or Pillars of Eternity series or something like that? Or is it really about the difficulty of the combat and that's the main draw? Have you ever played Vampire the Masquerade Redemption? It's quite all right. I don't think I played Redemption. That Ming Zhao fight was tough though. Yep. But by the time I get to Ming, I'm always prepared for drama, so it's all good. But that Hollywood fight is kind of mid-game, mid-early game, so you don't really have like the greatest weapons. You're still trying to really deck yourself out, so it's always brutal for me. The story appears to be barred from the inside. It does not budge. What is going on? Oh, another one of them creeper things. Whoa, and no way to get around it apparently. Boom, boom, boom. Woo. Boom, boom, boom.
Certainly.
Fury. So Fury is the name of the game. Interesting. Underrail has a very good story. Okay. But you 100% should look up a build before starting. The game doesn't have a good story. It better make me feel like an unstoppable god. That's basically the way I feel. Like it better be easy and simple for me to get through, or it better have an incredible story that makes it worth it to me to go through the challenge. I'm the same way. That's why I don't really play the Dark Souls series. Same here. I've never played a Dark Souls game. Like people keep telling me, oh, all content creators should be playing Elden Ring. There's so many people interested in it that all the other guys, they can have those 100,000 views. I don't care. I don't care. I only play games that I like. Don't let people scare you off Underrail. As long as you don't bump the difficulty, you can just focus on the story without worrying about running into a difficulty wall. Got you. Magus. Magus' story was non-existent, but I felt like a god. Interesting. What were all the builds in Bloodlines? So I personally prefer going with guns. Basically, you can focus on guns, you can focus on brawling, or you can focus on stealth. Stealth you couldn't do by itself. You still needed to focus on brawling or guns, but stealth can still definitely help you. Different scenes of an ocean shoreline are carved into 4 stone panels, arranged almost haphazardly at different heights along a network of rails. Inspect the panels. The panels are affixed to a set of rails that curve and crisscross in patterns that remind you of seaweed. There are 4 depressions in the wall behind the rails in which the panels look like they would fit. The panels show variously a barren shore, a city in flames, a flourishing city, and a tidal wave. Arrange the panels. It appears that any panel can be slid into any depression by following the network of rails. Move which panel to the first empty depression. What? Okay. Let's say flourishing city. And locks in place. So flourishing city, then city in flames. Tidal wave. And then barren shore. You complete the sequence of the last panel, but it will not settle until the final depression. Suddenly, the stone slabs begin to move on their own and revert to their original positions. So that's wrong. All right, let's try it a different way. Let's say barren shore. Barren shore, and then flourishing city. Then city in flames. And then whoops, nope, I didn't do that right. Barren shore, flourishing city. Oh no, I did do that right. City in flame. Okay, that doesn't work. So let's see. That tidal wave is going towards the city. Barren shore has got to be first, right? City in flames. Why? Barren shore. I mean, city in flames, I guess? I'm so confused here. Wait, here. Let's do that. Size of the flames. Tidal wave. City in flames. Yeah, this just doesn't make sense. This is from the mural. Well, we went through the mural, and I don't remember anything about it. Marcella, what's going on? I can't complain at all. How are you? Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is as much an immersive sim as it is an RPG. My osteoarthritis is acting up. My ankles hurt a lot right now. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm hoping I can hold off on that arthritis as long as possible. Let's start with this city. So if we then say that I already did that though. Let's go with the tidal wave. Flames. Barren shore. Nope, didn't like that either. City in flames. Did I do that already? Oh wait. Then flush. So annoying. You know what? Here, let's start with the tidal wave. Yeah, the tidal wave. Look, the city is in flames and the tidal wave comes. That's definitely what's supposed to happen. So here. Okay. So fine. Let's start with city in flames. Tidal wave. Flourishing city. Barren shore. Okay, fine. That doesn't work. So here, let's do this. City in flames. Tidal wave. The remaining panels retract and lock into place. Behind the heavy stones, there's a metallic groan and then a steady whir. A small tile about waist-high slides back. Beneath there's a carving. It shows an image of an ocean wave curled around a crescent moon. Perform the sign of the tide on the hidden carving. You curl your hand as Kyoto had done and position it over the carving of the wave. Then, using your other hand, you trace the arc of the crescent with your index and little fingers. A heavy rumble stirs the ground, and from all around you comes the sound of rushing water. Some sort of magic pool. Okay. So, can I go back upstairs now? Oh, wait. Lights good. Just went to a nice restaurant with a chef's tasting menu with wine pairings. 5 courses with 7 wines. Met the chef after. It's been great. That's awesome. That sounds like a really good time. That's awesome, man. So, wait. The rising tide. Oh, wait. Recover Andra's witness. So, I still have I still not done that? I still haven't actually gotten Andra's witness? I did this part. Oh, wait, this goes to a totally new section that I haven't been to yet, apparently. Haha. Embedded in this deep, semicircular slab is what looks to be a vessel for the sprinkling of holy water. In this context, however, it looks more like a lever. There are images engraved on the wall behind it, one of a rising wave, one of an open gate. We're not going to just murder these people in cold blood. Point the object toward the open gate. In the distance, you hear the mechanical snap of rusted locks and the groan of iron hinges. I'm not so sure I made the right decision, but hey. What? Stop them! Our brethren, do not harm them! Echoing voices reach your ears. The words are unintelligible, but you can make out laughter, crying, and cheers. Soon after, shouts of alarm resonate in the distance. With a click, the machine releases its hold on the strange rod. You pack the vessel away.
They'll fit right in with the rest of the crazy Deerwoodens.
By all means. All right. All right. So then I bring it back to him. It may be what I need to access the Reliquary. I have to reach the Reliquary and use Andra's witness to enter without Kyoto's help. But where? Pool of the Anointed. I think I have to go back upstairs, right? So let's do that. I think. Really, Clan's a great pick for your first playthrough, except Nosferatu. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do Nosferatu on your first playthrough. That's the really cool thing about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Each class, each clan rather, gives you a really different style and way of playing through the game, and some of them are markedly different. So with Nosferatu, because you're this ugly creature, humans do not want to talk to you. You kind of have to use the sewer system to get around, and so sacred halls unsealed. Sacrilege. Oh, we're gonna have to deal with you, huh? I hope I'm not messing up my old girl's quest this way, but hey. Oof. And the fight immediately starts, apparently. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you still on the ground? It's not good for you, buddy. So yeah, you definitely don't want to do Nosferatu. I think Toreador is a great choice for your first one. I really enjoy Bruja as well. Where am I? So I'm here. And this is the top Reliquary. But I want to go ahead and deal with this dude. I feel like he might become a problem later on at some point. So let's just go on ahead and put him out of his misery. Oh, he already left. Oh, he's waiting for me in the Reliquary. Okay, fine. Yep, this is the way.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
The diner interaction. Yep. Yeah, so some of the sequences you can go through definitely change based upon the clan that you have picked. And sometimes they change in really cool ways. We're going to go ahead and do a rest here. An animator has arrived requesting a prisoner to conduct experiments on. But your patrols intervene. All right, so none of that to do there. Okay. It's very funny to me that Pillars of Eternity DLC has a super secret good ending where you restore Abaddon in full, and it doesn't even matter or carry over to Pillars of Eternity 2. Abaddon is back in Pillars of Eternity 2, right? He is revived or no? I can't remember. Also, I didn't know you had an option where he could be restored in full.
You've made a grave mistake. I will correct it in Andra's name.
Andra's going to be disappointed in you because that's not happening, buddy. Let's get these going. Boom, 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 boom. You're going to do what you need to do. Let's get this going. I'm going to say they're going to crowd around about here. Boom, 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 boom. You gonna get that shot off? Come on, bro. What are you waiting for? Oh, you're prone. That's not good. Mm-hmm. Oops. Yep. There we go. Use that, definitely. And you use this. Mm-hmm. No. Oh, we can talk to him afterwards. It's fine. And there we go. Excellent. Woo! Look at you. You can either kill 13 humans or kill 65 enemies. Okay. That'll work. Excellent. 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 Excellent.
Certainly.
Abaddon is not in Pillars of Eternity 2. Oh, man. No, that's not true. I swear I remember him standing with his hammer. He's in there at some point. Pretty sure. He's in there at some point. I don't remember what you had to do to get him. But I definitely have a strong memory of him standing there with his hammer. There's a way. Maybe we'll figure it out during our playthrough. All right. No, he's not. Well, I'm off to bed. Good night. Take care, Argo. Have a good one. He's not. I swear, I thought I remembered a scene where he's standing there. I just learned that the original concept for God of War 3 was for Kratos to fight Egyptian pantheon and then become one of the three magi visiting Jesus' birth. That would be crazy. Hey, what are some of your favorite things to do in Chicago? I visited once ages ago, but I've been looking for a reason to go back ever since. Eat. If it isn't obvious enough, I love eating in Chicago. Great food here, and not just pizza, just restaurants in general are absolutely fantastic. Outside of that, downtown area has a bunch of things that you could do. People love to visit the Beam, but actually we constantly have festivals going on. This is also a great place for plays. So we have theaters around the city where you can see live plays. And it's standard Broadway plays like, Cats or Hamilton or things of that nature. But then they also have the Black Ensemble Theater. So they will do like smaller stories. Like I think right now they're doing a play that's all about Jackie Wilson, who was a famous singer from, I think, the 70s or the 60s. And so it's stuff like that where usually you wouldn't be able to see that Chicago allows you to do. There's a ton of things to do in the city, absolutely. Abaddon's picture is in Pillars of Eternity 2, but he has no lines and does nothing. The deep dish pizza has a hold on my soul that I can't let go. Love it. Water flows upward from a thin slit that cuts along the tiles of the floor. The water swells and condenses when touched, forming an elastic barrier that resists any attempts to cross it. Oh, you just had to get close. My bad. Did I just do a save? If not, I need to make sure I do one. Quick save completed, but that's not what I wanted. I want a full save. Did I just do a full save? I can't remember. It's time to go to work. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for the stream. My pleasure, Butcher. Glad you're able to make the stream. Have a good one. I love the Field Museum, too. No idea if it's held up. Field Museum is great. I love the aquarium here. That's also fantastic. And, of course, there's Soldier Field if you want to catch a football game. Ciao. Gotta go. Take care, camera. Have a good night. Yeah, the fact that Chicago is landlocked but still on the water really surprised me when I first went there. Absolutely. What is all this? That's a way back in, I assume.
A goddess who buys faith by hiding secrets is sure to have a few of her own. We should not be surprised.
The cracks in his jawbone suggest that a forceful blow separated from his skull. Judging by the distance to the nearby skull, a tremendous force severed this vertebrae from the rest of its giant body. I wonder if this... Yeah, this is the map. This is to get all the way out. Awesome. Exceptional scale armor. Why can't we click on that? What's the problem? The strange formations of this rock, intact even after their collision against thick bones of this giant skull, seem to radiate with the warmth of their own. I hear there's lots of crime in Chicago. Do you see any of that, or are you in a nice area? No, I see it all the time. I'm in the hood. I'm in the hood. It's one of those things where my wife and we have the resources to live somewhere else if we wanted to, but I like living around black folks. I don't want to be one of those guys who decides to just try to go, live around where I see nothing but white people around me. Like I feel like I should be using my talents, my gifts, and my resources to try to improve our communities. And so we live here, and honestly, it's not easy. Yeah, definitely there's crime here, and frankly, in the time that I've been here, I wouldn't say that I feel like things have gotten better. In fact, in a lot of ways, I feel like things have gotten worse, especially with the pandemic. So we'll see what's to come. Really disappointed in the mayor that we have right now. We've had first black woman to ever become a mayor. There was a lot of excitement regarding her getting in, and it has not been good. It's not been good, unfortunately. So it's a rough time in Chicago right now, and it'll be interesting to see what the next few years bring. Our sorry, what is it called? Population. Our population has been plummeting. People have been leaving Chicago left and right, partially due to crime, also partially due to taxes. Like there are a lot of business who feels like they can get fair taxes in other areas and things of that nature, whatever. So whoever there's supposed to be, we're having elections next year, but whoever is this next wave of politicians, they're definitely going to have their hands full. One, trying to give businesses confidence again to come back and set up shop in Chicago, but also just in general to try to attract people back here and to make the people who are currently living here feel safe again and feel like they have a government that is actually working on their behalf. Exactly. There are lots of very nice areas with lots of black people. That's very true. But most of them, unfortunately, are not in Illinois. For most of the places, if you're in Illinois, there and it's nothing but black people around you, unfortunately, oftentimes we're herded into areas where there is more crime and there is more desperation. It just is what it is. I don't care where I end up. I dislike everyone equally. Lies between rows of crystalline rock. A large fragment of metal protrudes. It looks as though it might be possible to pry it loose. Pull out the metal fragment. At your touch, the splinter of metal begins to glow orange. Heat surges up your hands and arms and envelops you with such intensity you feel as though you are melting down. The heat spreads to the world around you, turns it orange and then yellow and then white. The ground, the sky, everything around you drips in molten globs and begins to take shape beneath you as if in an invisible mold. You and the shard are the last things to melt and fall, and your addition to the molten pool completes the shape of an immense hammer. Look at a nice area now. But I live in South Central in Inglewood. I would not want to raise my family there. I know there's good people trying to make it better, but they're also bad. Don't want to keep it the same. Absolutely. And that's kind of the same way I feel. I live on the west side of Chicago. A lot of good people here. And like my block, if you go like one block in any direction, it's all good because there's a lot of older people here. So, you know, old folks, they're not trying to raise a ruckus. But when you go another block out in any direction, you're going to end up with a lot more youngins, a lot more people who haven't been here for years. So they just here for 1 year while they're on their while they're renting or whatever. So they don't care about the neighborhood like that. And so you end up with problems. It just is what it is. You just end up with problems. And it's difficult to figure out how to deal with those problems. Unfortunately, you know, Chicago, just like a lot of other areas in the country, when you talk about dealing with crime, the only thing people can think of is arresting folks and put them in jail. But we've seen that really doesn't do anything. Like, you know, black men are being put in prison left and right at meteoric rates, far outweighing any other cultures in the country. It hasn't made our neighborhood safer. There's a whole lot of black men in prison up on, what is it, 71st, wherever it is, where the jail cell is at, where the jails are at. I don't feel any safer. I don't feel like crime is going down because at the end of the day, to bring crime down, you have to empower these families. Taking away their men is not going to make people feel more secure and make them turn away from crime. But it's hard to get people to wrap their heads around that because we're in a law and order. You clap handcuffs on people and you punish them kind of culture, even if it doesn't actually do anything, even if it doesn't make sense. Is what it is. The metal cools as quickly as it had heated. The handle is gripped now by two great leathery hands, and the hammer is cocked back over his shoulder as broad and modeled as a hilltop. The wielder whirls around and heaves the hammer, and you are flying upward for what seems like ages into the airless blackness above. As you spin, you catch glimpses of a rock large enough to be a moon. It is close, far too close to the world. The force of the impact shatters the hammer and stone alike. The rock is redirected outward, but a section of the front face is cleaved off and begins to fall, splintering apart at the cracks. In 100,000 fragments blossoming outwards in all directions, debris showers the atmosphere, trailing smoke and fire. Below, land and sea are far off, but gradually rising up. Look to the sea. The largest of the fragments, wide as a city, barrels downward in a fiery cocoon. Its size reduces as the edges immolate, but it won't burn up in time. It lands silently in the distant ocean, sending a column of water skyward in radiating ripples that spread like wrinkles in fabric. Then the sound comes tearing up through the sky. It sounds like thunder. Look to the land. Features are becoming clearer by the moment as you streak toward the earth. You are lodged in an enormous boulder, falling among other smaller fragments that heat and burst around you on all sides. Beneath you, snow-capped mountains rise up, dotted here and there by cities of stone and Adra. The impact will be the destruction of them all. 3. I would love to be in a native neighborhood. I wouldn't look silly doing my pagan nature practices. Don't want to keep it the same, but I respect anyone who wants to build up their community. I'm all for that. Well, so you're true. My neighborhood is full of retired old folks, so it's very quiet. It's not supposed to make your neighborhood safer. It's meant to give them free labor, nothing more. That's basically what it comes down to. Poverty is a product of circumstance, and unfortunately, so many groups aren't given the opportunity to grow. Yep, especially in Chicago. I wouldn't care about Looking City, but I'm a miss it through. When you dislike everyone, you don't care about what people think. Isn't that the truth? The shadow of your rock fragment is visible now, getting larger by the second. You are moments away from striking the ground when a massive shape throws itself into your path. The last thing you hear sounds like another rumbling impact, but that isn't what it is. It's a chuckle, relieved, breathless. You hear 2 words: made it. Everything goes dark. You open your eyes. The metal hammer fragment has come free, and you now hold it in your hands. It is warm to the touch. The air around you is suddenly turbulent, spiteful. A cold, damp wind whips your face. Salt crystals collect in your nostrils and the creases of your eyes. The floor below you becomes blue-gray and glassy, churning and rolling, and when you fall, you crash through water. Violent waves hurl and spin you. Something slithers around your ankles, seizes you with incredible strength, drags you down into silty depths. When the pulling stops, you are hovering at the center of an endless blue abyss. You can see neither surface nor floor. You seem to be facing downward, but there is no way to be sure. A voice sounds from everywhere at once, and the immense pressure wave of each utterance sends you reeling.
Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury, speak! Explain yourself and be judged.
I seek a means of defeating an army that threatens my lands.
You seek what is mine, what was rightfully lost.
The outburst propels you, sending you end over end.
Your actions speak for themselves. The battery opened, the forge ignited. You showed mercy to souls that evaded my judgment, secured them to the battery's defenses. Mercy was not yours to give. The dwarves sealed their own fate. The forge was meant to be forgotten. And now, here you are again, denying peace to the buried.
The turbulence around you calms. Silt settles like a slow exaltation, and the vast dark seascape beyond the murk fades in. Rays of light trickle down from far above onto green-gold columns of kelp that rise from the depths and sway back and forth in the current. Fish and mollusks patrol them in groups of hundreds and thousands. The nearest pass you with watchful eyes. What do you mean the forge is meant to be forgotten?
It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truths lie within it. It can bring only ruin. When the Pargrunin came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common beliefs and purpose. Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. You have seen this for yourself. They would have destroyed themselves in the end.
I see your point.
I mourned the loss of the Pargrunin. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve to end so soon.
What does it matter if something is remembered or forgotten? It's in the past in either case.
Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher.
Perhaps more than I'd care to admit.
Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember me? How long until I am forgotten? Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. It can fuel passion, understanding, love, or it can create obsession, madness. You have seen it plague many souls in your travels. Consider the old Watcher who inherited unspeakable crimes from birth, or the young woman who committed herself to Brackenbury for love of things she remembered she had, or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed his sister, or the Glonfathen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all the fruits of his labors. They could be free from their burdens, if only they could forget.
Black Fist, what's going on, man? Glad you're able to make the stream. How are you doing? The problems go deep in memory. Simply forgetting does not make them go away. The burdens exist for a reason. Their burdens exist for a reason. Why should they be allowed to forget?
Many such people gain these burdens through no fault of their own. Others act to redeem themselves only to find their memories will not forgive them. Even when problems have run their course, memory can be the stone that sinks you into the abyss.
Intellect. Be that as it may, I must reject your moral paradigm because it engenders an incomplete conception of the good that fails to consider the importance of testing the soul.
Indeed. And what has led you to conclude you know better than a god, mortal?
Your supposition that peace of mind is tantamount to the overall good is a flawed premise. Empirically, we know that struggle and inner turmoil strengthen the soul as often as they strangle it.
That hardly sounds like an improvement on inner peace. Is that the extent of your argument?
No, actually. I submit to you that life is a framework to test the soul, and that an untested soul withers from disuse. Consequently, it is better to test the soul in order that it should thrive. If it breaks, it is no worse off than if it were not tested at all.
There may be hope for you yet, Watcher.
That does sound like some shit Durrance would say. Boss Page, what do you mean?
Your reasoning is interesting, mortal. Perhaps there is something to it. But it is not my will to simply do good. Those broken souls that fail your test, those are the ones I love most. For no other god will have them. What small mercies they ask of me, I will always grant. Was there something else, mortal?
What are the bones of one god doing sealed in the temple of another?
Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken from me. Abydon did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy.
The least you could do?
The least I could do for ending his life.
Light drains from your surroundings. The kelp forest becomes a copse of black tendrils, stark and twisted as regret.
I called the moon down to me, Ione brother. It was against his wishes. He would not listen to reason, would not listen to me. In his madness, he splintered the moon. But it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward that which he would protect. In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself.
I thought Bellefa and Caldwell were the moons.
Ione brother is their smaller sibling, tiny next to them.
Small enough that the world would survive its impact. But why the temple? Why the secrecy?
That time has been forgotten now. And so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact.
But you slew another god. Surely the other gods know this. Surely Abaddon must know. Current surges through the kelp bed, pushing each plant sideways like saplings in a hurricane and propelling you backward amidst a torrent of wayward fish.
No! He cannot know! He must never know! Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left behind. He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning. But so too was he devoted to preservation. In those times, he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body.
Yep, the scattered voice acting continues. Preservation. So that was why he went so far to oppose you.
We agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly. Not unless there were no other choice. But in this matter, there was no other choice. He understood that as well as anyone. It was for duty that he opposed it. I would have stopped it if I could, but by then it was too late.
What was it he was trying to preserve?
Time has finished much of what I started. I cannot tell you that, mortal, for fear of undoing all its costly work.
I don't know, Nemesis. It feels different in this game. I feel like in Pathfinder, they'll choose a conversation, and then that whole conversation will have voice acting. But then if you have a different conversation with that same character, there will be no voice acting. I can handle that. What is frustrating for me is these dialogues where, okay, one line of dialogue is voice, and then you get to the next dialogue and it's not voice, and there's no way to predict which one is going to be. That's where I'm like, bro, how are you making the decision about what is worthy of voice acting and what isn't? Like in Pathfinder, major story beats get voice acting. Like, to me, it becomes clear, okay, I understand that this is an important moment, and that's why you felt the need to have voice acting. Like, there does seem to be some method to the madness. Here, I don't see a method to the madness. It's just random. You make it sound as though you were the sane one.
The other gods knew what had to be done, but they lacked the will to go through with it. Even gods have their attachments. To erase all knowledge of such a grand thing required unthinkable devastation. The Eastern Reach, Deadfire. Mine was the only solution. When I called down Ione Brother, they remained silent. Even Abaddon, he knew it was for the best. But he tried to stop it all the same. Perhaps deep down I knew he would. I should have expected it.
So Boss Page
I could have stopped it.
basically she wanted to kill Brothier by pulling him down into the world, which would have killed a bunch of humans, but not all of them. And Abaddon gets in the way and stops him. What I haven't heard yet is, did they clarify why Brothier needed to die? Like, she says all the gods agreed that it needed to happen, but why? I want to ask you about something else.
You may ask.
Why did you pull down Brothier? Okay, fine.
The great conundrum of a god is how close to become with your subjects. Too far and they lose hope. Too close and your own judgment fails. Civilizations are meant to ebb and flow. Allow them to persist for too long in power or knowledge, and you invite catastrophe. There was a time when we let our sympathies get the better of us. When memories were allowed to persist that should have been washed away. The other gods could not be moved to act. I did what had to be done without them.
You're talking about the Inquithans.
I speak of what is forgotten. I failed that day, but my purpose was achieved in the end. I will not dredge up the memory to satisfy idle curiosity.
Like, so I'm still confused. I know what she did, that someone knew something they shouldn't, and her solution was global devastation. Interesting. Interesting. So the moon was basically her solution to the problem. And then Abaddon decided to stop her, but that's also not clear. Why did he decide not to? Why did he decide he needed to step in? The army that destroyed the dwarves, the eyeless, are they yours?
What the world casts aside, I take into my care. A thing may be forgotten, but it is never alone as long as I am here. They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that no longer had meaning. I took them in, gave them new purpose. I did not create them, but yes, they are mine.
They are Abaddon's. I saw them forged.
They were his once. I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his work on Eora. But he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things behind has always been his way. I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back.
Surprisingly, I understand that example, Balako. And that helps me understand what's happening here. Okay, interesting. You and Abaddon have a unique connection then.
I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together.
Nearby, you see a shark pass through a school of fish. The fish scatter, evading the predator. I had something else to discuss about the eyeless.
Speak your mind.
Intellect. You haven't given me the whole truth about the eyeless, have you?
Careful what you accuse a god of, mortal.
The water around you is suddenly icy. You can feel it sap the heat from your veins. Abaddon didn't abandon those creatures. You made him forget them. Otherwise, he might remember how he died.
And what if I did, mortal? It does him no harm to forget. On the contrary, it lifts a burden. If Abaddon remembered, it would threaten the harmony between the gods. It was not so long ago that conflict between us led to disaster in your world, and the death of one of our number. Memory is but an image we create to make sense of the present. It carries no truth or meaning but what we ascribe. A slight alteration to it is a small price to pay for peace.
If the people of Eora are better off with him not remembering, that's all that matters.
The peace between the gods is already fragile. It will not withstand another shock.
I want to ask you about something else.
You may ask.
Perception. Yeah, I see it, Boss Space. Fascinating. Perception. You say on one hand you had to call down Brather, yet on the other that you would have stopped it for Abaddon.
The death of a god is a calamity. You are living in the aftermath of one such death. Surely you can understand.
Perception. You have said that sympathy can't get in the way. What about yours for Abaddon?
He deserved better. Of all the other gods, he was the only one who acted, who held to his convictions.
Perception. The goddess of relentlessness must have appreciated such a quality.
Yes. I admired him for that.
But it's more than that. You loved him. The pull and push of the current become long and heavy, like a sigh.
Whatever he was to me, it was not meant to last. Always our duty is to Eora first. But I never imagined he'd go so far. I never imagined it would mean I would never know him, as I once did.
I know he opposed what I intended, that he wished to preserve what I meant to destroy. I knew it would cause a rift that might never be mended. If he doesn't remember dying, why not begin again with him?
Because it might cause him to remember. No, mortal. Better that we should exist as we are now. What happened once must never happen again. Bad enough that I am cursed to remember it.
That's just something else.
You may ask.
I need you to call off the eyeless.
On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant.
They draw attention to the very things you wish hidden. In my dreams, I have seen them swarming over the deerwood.
Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Aora, and then the eyeless shall rest once more.
This isn't some lone tribe of dwarves. The Forge sees visitors from all over now. The eyeless will tear the deerwood apart. It will never be forgotten. The sea life around you stirs back and forth, agitated, restless.
Even if it is as you say, there is nothing that can be done. The eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them. They do not stop until the purpose is fulfilled. They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry.
Kyoto said they could be called off.
Only if those they pursue are no longer a threat. The Raid Sarens were stopped before they could take the White Forge. In your case, Watcher, you are well beyond that now. And if what you say is true, then the Deerwood is as well.
This was your doing. You must intervene.
The interventions of gods seldom work out in anyone's favor. Our touch is too heavy. The world crumbles beneath it. It is why we so often enlist the help of mortals. They execute our wishes with greater care. I have done far too much already.
If you won't stop them, then I will.
Your determination is commendable. But the eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck.
It may cost me my life, but I will do what I must.
I will give you what aid I can. I bade the eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Ione Brother. It lies in a flooded crater known as Kairon's Scar. Know, too, that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it strike, they come to its aid. If you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be able to call them to you. But destroying them would be another matter. I know of one way, but only from the center of the Lion's Den. Only with their master's hammer in your service. If you can do all this, if you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do.
I will do what I can.
And I will see you through when the time comes.
I will remake the hammer in the White Forge and stop the eyeless.
If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they did for the Pargrunen.
An uneasy turbulence disturbs the calm like an unwelcome thought.
Careful as you approach the lake. When I claimed the eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they slept. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. They will not allow you near. And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
What is it? In place of an answer, a sudden surge in the current from beneath you sends you hurtling upward. The surface above you approaches fast, shifting and glimmering like quicksilver. You emerge soaking wet on the stone floor of the Reliquary, gasping for breath as if you've been holding it for hours. Is she talking about whale? Is that what she's saying you probably want to avoid? When I think about the eyeless, the path ahead leads to the outskirts of the Abbey. What would you like to do? Travel directly to the foundry in Durgan's Battery. Typically, the audio issues in general are handled by the dev's narrative team. The typical reason is they record the sound lines sooner rather than later in the development, and so did not get the chance to record new lines or add new ones as plot changes and dialogue is altered to fit the development cycle. It's just cheaper to do what is currently done, and overall the communities never make a fuss about it. Interesting. Interesting. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, I would not trust this person at all. This guy would stab you in the back at a heartbeat. Is it the voice of Meridia? I'm not sure, honestly. All right, well, let's save and then make this hammer. And actually, I think I can get some more Durgan steel. Let's do that as well. Don't. Anytime now. Good Lord. Incredible heat ripples upward from the white forge and laps against your exposed skin. The fragment of Abaddon's hammer grows warm in your hands as if in recognition. It is only a fraction of the size of the original, but there is metal enough to create a hammer fit for a person of your size to wield. In this forge, the fragment could be shaped anew. Recreate Abaddon's hammer. You call to mind every memory you have witnessed of the great hammer. The image coalesces and takes shape in your mind's eye. You know every curve, every engraving. Even as a shapeless lump of metal, you can see the fragment for what it is meant to become. The fragment is slow to heat, even in the white forge, and quick to cool as you work it against the anvil. Sweat drizzles down your body and puddles at your feet. Your arm grows sore with each swing of your forge hammer until you can barely lift it. Minutes turn to hours. As Abaddon's hammer begins to take shape, the ring of your own hammer against it takes on a familiar tone, one that you have heard in your dreams. With each strike, an image flashes in your mind. It is hazy at first, but it gains detail as the hammer begins to resemble the original. Over time, the image becomes a frozen landscape centered around a crater lake. Eyeless patrol its frozen surface in droves, and this can only be the place Andra described. Kayron's Scar. The eyeless pause here and there when you strike and look up, as though hearing the echo on the wind. In the distance, as more details appear, you can see other landmarks, Stalwart, Durgan's Battery, and you understand where the lake lies in the White March, where you must take this hammer. Finally, with the careful etching of the last detail and with the chisel, the hammer is completed. No sooner do you make the final mark than you feel a pure, radiant energy pulsing from within it like a mechanical heartbeat. There is an indescribable beauty to the shape and the weighting in the design. It feels as if this is the realization of the metal's purpose. You take up the hammer and its power rushes over you in waves, and it shakes your body so hard you nearly drop to your knees. The tremor passes, but the surge of power remains. The hair on your arms stand on end. In your hands is a faithful recreation of a divine instrument. Careful with the weapons of the gods, Watcher. They seldom come without strings. Whoa.
I've heard enough.
The sounds of an argument reach you from the stairs. Darian marches into the room, arms crossed, while Wingra bounds along behind him.
This threatens all of us now.
Matron Berrigan lumbers after Darwin and Wingra, flanked by two stout ogres.
She's right. We've got to fight together.
You also recognize Derek following them. His shoulders are rigid and his arms are clasped in front of him. Wingra sees you and points enthusiastically.
See, Darian? He'll tell you. We can stop him.
Tension crackles in the air. Darian whirls and cuts Wingra off with a chopping motion.
If he's seen them, he knows better.
What's going on here?
Something killed a whole crew of hunters out in the wood. Tore them apart like dolls, insects.
Despite his steady posture, his eyes flit and flicker like flies, and his upper lip shines with sweat.
Something like the creatures that attacked my fort, perhaps?
Berrigan mutters something to her escort, and they snort in agitation.
I told ya! All we gotta do is get him in range of these cannons, and then we blast him!
She brings her hands together in a loud clap.
We don't even know what they are.
He shuts his eyes and breathes loudly through his nose. I do. Everyone turns to look at you. They are known as the eyeless. Yeah, sure, they're known as the eyeless.
The destruction my dreams warned me of.
Berrigan's gaze is distant with horror. Suddenly, she rounds on Wingra and Darian.
and your greed and recklessness have brought them on us all.
Calm down. Okay, I'm headed to bed. Good night. Glad I caught your stream. Take care, Kit. Glad you're able to catch the stream. Take care. Also, I would love Ava to have a voice. She's my favorite. Absolutely. Never trust a god is a pretty good philosophy in RPGs, I find. Absolutely. The most famous and infamous example of this is Knights of the Old Republic. The narrative was horribly handled, but was able to sidestep this by whenever having aliens speak, they spoke in universal basic. And so there was no need to recall voice actors to re-record lines, etc. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, because I think there were a few times in the game where they spoke an alien language, but for the most part, no. You're right.
You burning our village didn't help matters none.
Winger's feral grimace exposes needle-sharp teeth.
It wasn't my clan that attacked you.
No difference. One ogre stinks as bad as the next.
Calm down, everyone. None of that matters now. Darian and Winger grumble, shifting on their feet and glaring suddenly. After a pause, Berrigan looks back at you.
I came to offer my clan's help.
The others gawk at her.
The White March has been our home for centuries. We'll defend it alongside you.
The ogres flanking her grunt their assent. Your aid would be welcome. She presents an ancient, banded horn in both of her calloused hands, holding it out to you.
Sound it anywhere in the White March, and 3 of my best warriors will be at your side. Your battles become ours.
What's your plan for dealing with them exactly?
The eyeless are hidden at Kairon's Scar. I'll face them there. Wingra and Daring gape at each other in disbelief.
That lake's notorious. Folk never come back from that.
She breaks off, her eyes suddenly wide.
Oh.
You'll need all the help you can get. I have fewer men to offer than I would like, but the iron flail stands ready. Our siege weapons are at your disposal.
The same ones you threw at the battery's walls?
These eyeless will come for us all if they aren't stopped here and now.
Forget it. You're not bringing your army into our backyard.
He looks to you and nods.
Tell him.
I know you did. Just tell me what to do. Adaric's right. We need to work together. There's no time to worry about what's past, Darian.
Guess you're right. Won't be anything left of Stalwart if we don't stop these monsters anyway.
He looks down at the spot his heel is grounded to the grit. We'll assemble at Karen's Scar and wait your orders. Be ready, my friend. It will be a great battle. Adaric bows slightly and steps away. Yikes. I don't remember how this battle goes at all. How many phases does this conversation have? An awkward silence follows. Wingra clears her throat noisily.
You know, those heavy cannons you fixed might come in handy.
She grins, a mischievous twinkle in her eye. Darian starts to groan as she holds up both her hands.
Hey, hear me out. Kairon's Scar should be just in range for those guns. You just point out your target and I'll do the rest.
If those things are on the move, we don't have much time. If you're really gonna stop them, take this. It's the best of the ore we've pulled from Stalwart's mines.
He gives you a solemn nod. Really? Audio issues was part of why they got the boot? I've never really read a breakdown of what happened in that whole situation.
It's not much, but it's good enough to make the old Pargrunen Smiths proud. I'm sorry about what I said before. Just don't take it out on the rest of the village.
He looks away. You may call upon the aid of Craig orders by using Berrigan's battle horn and Carrion's Scar, okay? You can call up for the Red Sarah's aid by using the burning trebuchet ability in the Scar. There we go. Select the recipe. Craft. And that's all she wrote. All right. It's a lot of diplomacy checks. You did a good job. Also, they will beat you up. Nice. Where'd you like to go? Go to the Great Hall. They won't let me just go back to roaming around. I want to go ahead and defeat these bounties and whatnot. Also, they will beat you up. Nice. So are they saying that I have to go directly to the scar? There's no way around it? Let's see what they say. That hammer is the best hammer in the game. I was thinking that, actually. So he actually uses hammers. Of course you can't keep it. Oh, you can't keep it? That kind of sucks. So let's see. Chairman's high to low. So Abaddon's hammer. Oh wow, it's a soulbound weapon. Legendary. Plus 15 accuracy, plus 55% damage. Good lord. All right, well, I won't buy this. Of course you can't keep it. Oh well. All right. Let's see what happens when we go out here. Supposedly so. Got quite a few supposed sources speak on it being very lacking in development because of it. Audio is one of the areas people never really pay attention to, but it's a real issue. Interesting. Yeah, I'll be very interested once they make the full announcement to find out who's going to be developing the new version. I know many people are pulling for the Shadowrun developer to be doing it. We'll see. Man, this inventory gets completely unmanageable, doesn't it? Especially when you stop really caring about inventory. Like, the gamer in me still is picking up everything, but in my head I know none of this matters anymore. I already have all the equipment that I really, really need. Like, there are some things I can switch out to give like a little push or improvement here or there, but whatever. I'm good. I'm good. I know I have everything that I pretty much need, so. All right, Scar is the last area. So that's excellent. We know once we do that, we should be ready to be finished. Take care, Jason. Have a good one. All right. Shrine, Flames, Abandoned Camp, Hunter's Camp. There we go. I'm pretty sure this bounty I'm supposed to do is for a bunch of hunters. Hopefully, I'm also good enough to actually do this. We'll see. Go out and get some work done and get some Z's. Great stream. See you next time. Take care, Robert. Glad you enjoyed it, man. Have a good one.
Thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
Did someone finally kill a certain dragon yet? I killed the Audra dragon. If you're referring to the White March Part 2 dragon, I have not gotten to that yet. We'll probably do that in the next stream. Okay. And nothing here. Let me check my handy dandy journal real quick just to make sure. So I have 1, 2, 3. Russet Wood. Old Dunrid Hunting Lodge. Being hunt animals and monsters for sport. Yep. And then this one is Long Watch Falls. And this one is Searing Falls. Oh, okay. Interesting. So I saw the hunter's camp and I saw the dead animal, but I didn't see any people around it. Whoops. Shrine, Landslide, Wolf Cave, Woodcutter's Grove, Pond. And wait, they are still, yep. They're not dead, they're not dead, they're not dead. Okay, so All these people should be around somewhere. There we go. Just hanging around for no reason. Whatever. Oops. Bam, bam, bam. And that's all she wrote. Excellent.
Certainly.
Okay. 1 bounty. Major adventure added. What's this about? A sign? There you go. Handle that. Okay, that's handled. You know what? Maybe we are about to go ahead and do that Dragon Quest. Because we're at Long Watch Falls anyway, and it's not like I'm pretty sure I've already hit max level, so it's not like I'm going to get more powerful. But you know what? No. We're going to hold off on that. I want to do that when I'm all the way awake. I'm just about at the end of my rope here, so we will do it next time. When I know I'm going to be fully prepared if I end up having to do it 4, 5, 6, 7 times over and over again.
Keeping an eye out.
I'm pretty sure that other one I have to do is over here, right? Yeah. True Flame Barbarian. Ba-ba. Boom, 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 boom. Where's that beam? There we go. Screaming Mother could come over here. We done? We good? Hey.
Certainly.
This is why you were traveling alone.
Duck and Dodge gaming. I'm not trying to hear it. We'll face that dragon soon enough, and it'll be just your luck. You won't be on the street when it happens. Go back to the Deerwood. Searing, right? Searing something. Searing Falls. Here we go. So do all that. Then get Maneha. Doom, doom. Gata, the Animancer. Your patrols intervene, so we're all good. All right, where... No telling where this bounty is. Probably on the bridge. Yep, probably on the bridge. Boom, boom, boom. Nope, can't do that. Can't do that either. That's already been done. So actually, yeah, you know what? Here. Come on, Eddie. Get to the other side. There we go. Isn't that impacting your party members too, bruh? He just took out his own team. To be fair, it's probably one of the hardest fights, so it's all good. That's kind of what I figured. Ooh, I just saw that hammer come down. Fan of that. Absolutely a fan of that. Oh, yeah, now. And now. Let's freeze you up some. And there we go. That's done. And that's done. Excellent. All right. Excellent. Taxes collected. Now we can go back to Cadnor. Now the question becomes, where does Maneha want to drop off her stuff? I assume it's on the inside in that pool area, but I guess we'll find out soon.
This place, as beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
You know what? I'm tired of getting these mechanic bonuses. I assume we're kind of past that, right? So I'm going to go with might instead. And then we're going to switch out Alaf, Maneha instead, accept, close. Oh, she doesn't have the same rest bonus, huh? Sure, she could take that. Bloodied, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to keep you around all that much. In fact, now I think about it, hopefully I don't have to do any killing with you whatsoever. We'll see. So we'll go back to the White March, back to the Abbey. And then take her back to that pool that's inside the Abbey. I think that's where we have to go in order for her to drop her stuff off. Then drop her back off, turn in the bounties, and then it'll be time for the dragon. But I'm going to rest before we do the dragon. So first come back.
So you said the eyeless came from the Abbey. I'd heard rumors of the eyeless, but I always thought that name was a metaphor. Though I would have called them Mace Hands of Doom, if anyone had asked me.
Their name doesn't matter. They'll fall by my hand all the same.
See, this is what I like about you. So this is the mysterious army you've been dreaming about, huh? It's a wonder you're getting any sleep.
That's why I came to the Abbey in the first place, to stop them.
I'm regretting all of my decision-making up to this point. Still, I guess a suicidal plan is better than none.
Thought you'd be happy. You've been looking for the Abbey a long time.
I know, it's just...
She grumbles with exasperation.
Well, knowing that I'm finally close to getting rid of this memory, it feels like it's crowding my head that much more.
She paces and locks her fingers into her hair.
It's been with me for decades. Driven me halfway across the known world.
She throws her hands up. This would be easier if you just told me what you remember. She stops pacing and sighs.
You're right.
Take your time.
It was a war. Centuries ago, before Adiran unification.
She folds her hand in front of herself.
I was a soldier then. Led a campaign across the northern forests to subdue some of the outlying Kalkland villages. Brutal work.
Just got completely normal spell on my Trickster Sorcerer Wrath of the Righteous playthrough. Any tips for keeping meta magic spells organized? Well, what do you mean organized? Even though I've never had to use normal spell before. I don't even remember the mechanics of it. It's a shame that she and the monk come so late in the game. Yeah, it is a shame for her. I wouldn't use the monk even if I got him earlier because his storyline depresses the crap out of me. But Maneha is funny, especially if you have Pallegina in the party with her. Hell, I just got sent a battle goose as a mount for my gnome in another game I play. Is the battle goose powerful? Go on.
Lost a third of my forces to the forest, and another third to the elven scouts hiding in it. By the time we reached the first village, we'd crushed their defenses, and they'd bled us.
She shakes her head.
Wasn't much more than children and the elderly left, but they spit on us when we marched into town.
A scowl twists her face. Her eyes are cold.
The village elders surrendered and offered us lodging in the old meeting hall. And when the sun set, they tried to burn it down around us.
She closes her eyes.
They barely got a flame going, but that wasn't the point.
They betrayed you after surrendering. Seems serious to me.
And would that I'd had your principles.
She swallows.
In their defiance, I saw months more of pointless, bloody battle as we fought for the rest of the region. I had to break them. And I had to send a message to the rest of the villages.
Her hands shake as she raises them to cover her face.
So I nailed every last one of them to the trees around the town and left them there to die.
What happened then?
I never remembered more.
She shrugs.
Eventually, Adir and Culklin united. The gentlefolk forgave each other for what they'd done to each other's people.
You killed those villagers to prevent more fighting?
That's what I kept telling the troops.
She's quiet for a long time before she speaks again.
But if I'm honest, I was angry. I wanted to see pain. And I wanted to be the one holding a blade.
You've been a mercenary and a pirate in this life. Is that really so different?
I've done my share of fighting these 40-odd years. But I've never drawn my blade just to watch someone bleed. And I've never drawn it on someone who didn't have his own in hand.
Literally just a mount. So not particularly. Just transportation. That's awesome. That wasn't you, Manea.
So I've tried to tell myself. Anyway, we should get going.
She shoulders her pack, and you catch a glimpse of something unusual in it. A thick roll of cloth bound by leather. What's that?
Something I've been saving for better days.
She tucks it away. Let's go. I didn't ignore a supplicant. Oh, seeking. Oh.
Hard to imagine a whole sect living out here. But I guess that's the point.
Find the salt well. Oops. And yep, there are still some guys here. Okay, fine. Are folks still walking? No. What's going on? And Adder's on the floor, of course. There we go. Durant's stat. There we go. Girl, use your stuff. There we go. Boom. And, ooh, you're dead? So yeah, this way. Oh, whoops, I didn't even realize we have this one. And you're back on your feet. Not good. Here we go. Fate Binder. What happened? Did someone get dominated? He seemed like he was all of a sudden just destroyed. Oh, there he goes. Okay, cool. Knew I was missing something. Her AI is off. Her AI has to be off. Yep. Aggressive. Berserk. Yeah, let's go Berserk. Use that. Aggressive. There we go. Might be more of them in there. So might as well get that set up. Castle events can progress per story tick. That includes quest companion stuff. Oh, I see. Oh, that's how I can miss it. Okay, that makes sense. That's why I missed it. Okay. All right, so I assume the salt well that I need to take her to is the same one where that guy was throwing away a gem, right? Hopefully. Hopefully it's that simple. And, oh, is that straightforward? Yep.
Smells fresh. That can't be the salt well.
Ah, of course there would be one more fight. Boom, boom, boom. Ah, see, I'm really starting to miss Olaf. Hey. Actually, yes. Let that finish. Do that. Okay. Excellent. Actually, let's all do this one at a time. Let's keep you on the ground, shall we? Okay, now. No. Still. There we go. Now we go over to you. And we go over to you. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. And back here. Now get back there. There we go. And there we go. That's all she wrote. So this should be it, right? And yet... Or is this not it? Boom, boom, boom. Bounty, broken oath. The burden of memory. Recently believes a salt well is here somewhere. When we find it, she'll be able to watch the memory that haunts her. Find the salt well. Apparently that's not it. God dog it. And none of this looks like it's it either. Let me look outside, make sure there's not a well outside that maybe I just wasn't thinking of. Because I don't remember a well all the way in the basement, but... Michael, what's going on? I don't even remember you joining. Thanks, glad you were able to make the stream. Take care, man. Have a good night. I'm going to look at the map real quick, but if I can't figure it out, then we'll just call it a night. And I'll have to figure it out when we come back. So, yeah, I'm not seeing anything out here that looks like a well. The Veil of Tears. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out when we come back. All right. That is enough for one day. I am good and tired, and I do have to work in the morning, so it's probably about time I go ahead and get some sleep. I really wanted to be ready to finish the whole game by the end of the stream, but that just wasn't in the cards, so I don't know. Sounds like probably we still got maybe one or possibly even two sessions to go before we'll be done with this and we can finally get started on Pentiment. Feels like you made a lot of progress today, at least. I do agree with that. It does, right? It does feel like I made a nice bit of progress, so I'm happy about that at least. And it seems like people enjoy the stream, which is always nice. Good to know I'm doing my job properly. G-Star, what's going on? I don't think I heard from you either. Glad you're able to make the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Yep, good progress. We'll get through it, and then we'll just jump into Pentiment once we're done. But for now, I am tired as hell. I'm going to go ahead and get some sleep. Hope all of you enjoyed the stream and have a good night. You too, Nemesis. You all take care. Have a good one.